Hello and welcome, Draft League fans, BBR fans specifically. We're out here doing power rankings. Swag.
Pig.
Joined by OG Albina, at least for now. You might have to go
Hello.
at some point, but it depends on how long the stream goes for. Just gonna go ahead and plug my stream to my Discord server. If you want to catch my streams live, link in the description. Plug in all my stuff there. But yeah, the truth hurts is in the title. Now, folks.
Disclaimer, I'm raw.
Read the description, folks. Disclaimer, I am really smart, so you might not be able to understand all of my placements here, and that's okay. I'm just being silly down there. Don't worry about that. But the idea here is we're going to look through all of the draft analysis that are uploaded from these coaches and give our verdicts. Do we think the team is good? Do we think they're waffling? They might be waffling, you know? But yeah, let's give a little
is
bit of
very
time.
smart, and I'm unbiased because I'm not playing, so I can say which teams are raw and which teams are not raw, you know?
No way, is that J-Bear Pokemon in my chat?
Oh my gosh, he's in the BBR.
He really is, huh?
Yeah. Wafflers always win. That's true. I mean, look at this channel, right? What? Are you trying to do the gift thingy? Does it not pop up? It should just literally be the show your support, and then there should be membership gifting at the bottom.
Yeah, there is, but I have to buy those. It's not...
Oh, yeah, it's not. Yeah, usually it pops up like when I do it on my side, like on my streams, it says like you have 10 for your gift memberships remaining. You have 5, you know, and you can do them.
Yeah, I don't have those yet, unfortunately. But I think once we hit 1K subs, that should unlock, and then we can give out free memberships.
Dude, can we get 91 subscribers right freaking now?
Can we get 91 subs? Someone in the chat make 91 alts right now.
Hurry.
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Investing all my stock on the Magic Guard. Dude, Magic Guard stocks through the moon.
So true.
We have a big Kaz fan in chat? No.
Anyways, what's up everyone in the chat? Welcome to the stream. J-Bear better be best team with that Terra Jolteon. I mean, I think we're going to see, you know, we're going to give it a little bit more thought later when we watch his draft analysis and see, was he waffling or not? Does he have some good points, etc.? Is it a good team? We'll see. I think it's probably going to be up there, though. Just at first glance.
Just, like, briefly looking at them and, like, going through the draft stream and stuff like that, his was, like, immediately one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Like, Terra Tusk?
At, like, a very quick, at a very quick glance, his team is very well constructed. I like it.
So anyways,
we'll see.
I think we've given a little bit of time for people to get in here. Real quick, I just wanted to plug DPL signups for players are coming soon. For captains, they're open right now. So if you're interested in captaining for the Draft Premier League, which is the big team tour that I run, you know, check that out. I don't think I have a link in the description or anything for that, but
really join your Discord and find it in, like, announcements.
I don't think I posted an announcement. I should do that, actually.
Good idea.
Let's see.
King L5, are you captaining? Oh my gosh, some exclusive DPL deeds in stream.
I most likely will be captaining, but I'm not 100% sure with who yet. There, go ahead and paste that in the announcements of my Discord server, and then let me just grab a server invite to put there as well. Invite.
I'd say King L5 viewers and captains correlate so well, you know? Only the elite of the elite watch the King L5 on youtube.com. Spin a wheel to decide your captain. Great idea, Hunky. It lands on Jason, DyeItTight.
Alright, there we go. So if anyone's interested in DPL, it's going to be a great event. Should be awesome. Go ahead and join the server. But that's my big plug out of the way. Now let's start looking at these draft analyses. And we're going to start with my own, because it's my channel. We can do that. And I actually decided to make my draft analysis a rap song. And I think it turned out pretty nice, but we're just going to go over it real quick.
Metro made me do it.
Just let it play. I don't think I can really interrupt this. It's a lot of words.
It's only 2.5 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
I feel like Darwin, chill on Galapagos Islands. Got the hard body show up to replica diamonds. If I wanted to take a KO, I would turn stars from this white chose to make a rap so I can show my art form. I can check pretty much anything in a pinch. They try to take a mile, but they only get an inch. It's also one of the best at that rap is spinning. Removal is important for how the winning.
True.
I got Liberty, the king of the old gens. So play it like a piano.
Flanders-tarian! You have to yell them all today, man.
Chicken the ground, no escapes. Back of the birds down, clipping the wings, lay safe. 145 attack with a intimidated boot, and I'm feeling like I'm Monte, always winning in the suit.
Mounte reference?
Star of the show, that's KSaun with a terror type flow. The next up, got my innovation frequent. After this season, this sorting.
I believe it was the same day he smoked your draft pick woke up. It's pretty funny.
Position I can't save, said I'm gonna kill the pick you off of the back way. Looking with a calm mind, able to win, and he's a stable defensive piece, enabled his skin. Magic card absorber status with a heel belt, also H in the air and give my turtle back a shell. Ghost got a pedigree if y'all are unaware. When they click see him, I promise you the underwear because they shut in the pants. They really got no chance. They did not account.
This part goes crazy, by the way.
Never pick a rock and paper, always use a system. No reason to leave it up to just
Uncle works with Shofu.
Strong priority when he's done with your monty, what you bought the warranty. You thought with the movement is first, it's a good guess, but losing versus me, so
I cooked there.
Says choice pen and source hands, put you in the pack, cause we all know his best use is on the attack. Alucha ain't problems with fight and stress. He's always on the front page of the flying press. Paparazzi going crazy trying to get it big. It's hard to catch him cause he's always moving quick. Shit said I didn't know he's really going fast as shit. Even Skunk's gonna speed, now you have to quit. But his back is deep and he can get the highs of control. He can even hit a fuck against good as gold.
Hard, whatever some people said.
She injected enough to feel like song she's better than all the other mid-tier. She might be meta. Of course you know I'm talking about
Meloetta.
With the FFA stats and the move pool too. Alternate form if I want something new. Mythical mind and a threat in you. Your team is weak as Thomas to take my cue. I check on go for trigger. He got 3 heads. Wait a minute, 3 times the head.
That's what she said.
Last time I drafted him, I went undefeated. Switches to a trick house when we compete. Now he's back better than ever with a dark post flinching. When it comes to players, you know I'm clinching. 100% dragon that's a moving nasty pause, but he also has the option to be slinging up the rocks. Into the draft, I'm looking, what do I need? Westbrook like a dove, another water spray. But the team plays on a big that
So
I like to
true.
absorb it. So I looked about blue to see if I could afford it. With 5 points left and my team like a glove. Covers all the things that I mentioned above. He's an effect score, Rocky Hammer, wall strength, sapper, nice or back to physical attackers. That's my team, and we know what you think. It's kinda just orange with a turtle distinct. But these old dogs are nutrients, the power will shrink, and the sun is just a cooler way they move in the sink. My plan this season, getting killed, 20 killed. Gotta play with Owen so that I can pay the bills. So every time I hit the field, I'm getting chills, cause I jump into
That's
the
me!
skills. Let's go.
Mama King of 5
Yeah.
song. Absolutely massive.
Old dogs, new tricks. Yep, got that vac wave. Got that strength sap. Got that stealth rock Hydreigon. Whew.
Super
Kinda
often there'll be
crazy.
Fnatic probably after week 1 uploads go up, or sometimes slightly before.
Yeah.
But I'll make like Jason probably run it for the season. I hate you, fan dog. I already do the regular dog. It pisses me off.
Who has the worst draft and why is it JRicky? I don't know.
We'll see today.
We'll see. We'll see.
So fun fact, today's stream we're going to be
Power ranking. Anyways, if that was a little bit too quick for you, I did post the lyrics down in the description. If you want to check out the video later or something, it's all right there. But anyways, that's my draft, and I am biased, so I think I'm gonna be a title contender. Just gonna say it.
Number 1. I'm the greatest.
Yep.
My reasoning, I'm raw.
Exactly. Like, call it biased if you want, but hey, I like my team. What can I say?
Horace plus turtle.
I mean,
That was Darwin. I feel like Darwin.
I feel like Darwin. Yup. That line goes so hard as an intro. Anyways, the 20 Keldeo kills bet. So, I was like, I bet I can get 20 kills with Keldeo. And Owen was like, bet you 5 gifted. So,
It's like a very it's a really low consequence bet because like 20 is a lot, so you might not get there because it's only 8 weeks. This does not count fucking playoffs, by the way. But also,
Regular
if you
season.
do, oh no, $20. Fuck.
yeah.
My family, they won't eat. I bet the mortgage on King L5 getting 20 kills with Keldeo.
Yeah, betting on Pokemon always turns out well. That's what I...
I'm above sports
Sure about
betting. I
that.
only bet on Keldeo and Terapagos.
But anyways, am I supposed to feel like me or Darwin?
Feel like
Right
you.
now, we're feeling like Darwin. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, come on. I mean, if Terapagos wins this, sure, but dude, we felt like Mew all season of BBL and we won. That's all I'm
So
saying.
true, so true. And you had Big Boy Moxie Crocodile, Life of the Party
And Life of the
Quackable.
Party Quackable. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Dude, fuck Cypher nicknames. Should just on King L5 song nicknames.
Yup. So like, basically this team, track goes hard though. So true. I mean, there's a lot of offensive guys here that like. There's lots of momentum. There's good breakers. I think it'll work out. But hey, I'm biased. What can I say? Let's move on to the next one. This is going to be who. So we're gonna take a steep turn here. But
Yo, what's up, guys? It is me, and I am bringing you our draft.
Let's see who's draft analysis.
Thankfully, draft analysis people like move towards having them be like slow. I mean, not slow. Really quick.
Faster. Yeah.
Yeah. They used to be like 40 minutes a waffle.
Oh yeah.
By the mod team before playoffs even started, actually.
By the way, who? He's went like kind of crazy in the past few seasons of whatever he's participated in. Like he won BBR Scramble, right?
Beat Mounte, like
yeah, in the finals,
pretty
right?
Convincingly, yeah.
And then was it the D League that he went like undefeated regular season?
Undefeated through semifinal, lost in semis to I think it was Hunky, I want to say, who's also in this league. But I'm pretty sure that it was like almost like a 20-game streak of him just simply not losing in anything BBR related.
Yeah.
So I felt like he earned the spot because usually the only like guaranteed call up from D League is a champion, but we pulled up a couple of people this season because there's a couple people deserving.
Yeah, some really strong performances overall. Like multiple people deserved it. You had multiple slots, may as well, right?
Hunky said, "It was me.
It was me. Yes.
Who beat multiple main coaches in Scramble? He beat Jason. He smoked me in like top 32. He beat Mounte. Like beat Jason in top 16 as well. Like
yep. Oh, this is the grand reveal, right?
It's a good old reliable masquerada. However, I knew deep down what I must do. For too long have I been sniping this Pokemon in every
This is so funny.
I do at the BBR. For too long have I allowed the mod team to slander and defame my goats. For too long have I kept my silence, but that day ended.
J-Scarf reference!
Oh, yeah.
Let's go!
Sure, Pokegame, sure. Yeah.
Oh, unsub, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, a likely story, huh? So,
he wanted to say something in chat, he's like, oh shit, I got some.
The BBR team hates Aloe. They think it sucks. They think Lantern is only worth 1 point less than Aloe. Down at 6
by the way,
points.
this is completely cooked for you, Owen.
What?
Aloe at 6 points is literally wrong, but that's okay.
Oh, for sure, literally wrong. Okay. Again, we've explained this 74 times on stream. I think 8 is like where I would put it, objectively. I used a tier list that John gave me for like a doc template, and I forgot to change it from 6. Who lost his shit in general chat, so I did not move it. I refused. I refused to do so.
I mean, Aloe is pretty cool. I hear it's even capable of taking down top 5 player J-Scarf. Yeah.
Top 5 J-Scarf? Hey, and I will say, now, I'm 100% out here. I think it is good for the price point it's at, but I think like the glaze this one gets from like random little circles is crazy. I think it was Fran that drafted it like round 2 or 3 in Scramble. Might have been the reason they got smoked by Mounte in semifinals.
We can get a top 5 J-Scarf emote when we hit 10 members, because that unlocks another emote slot. Yeah.
Big.
That could be the goal.
I picked it 4th at 6 points in BBL. How you doing there?
Yeah. By the way, Terrahydrapple is the GOAT.
This one is raw.
This Pokemon is so good.
Objectively. This is something I will objectively admit when L5 like drafted, or not L5, A12 numbers and letter names. I was like, is that guy really that raw? No, he's raw. Like this thing's crazy.
No, like Yerdunk has been using it in DLWC, and he's been really popping off with it. He also used it in DGBA. And did he win that, or did he get like finals? No, I think he got to finals and got smoked. I think that's what it was.
Obviously, as the Wi-Fi man, A12 won D-League with it. Like,
yeah.
He brought like a super cool, like Terra Normal fucking mental herb nasty plot set, and it got like 2.5. It was crazy work.
Why does it keep telling you you can't talk? I have no idea. Why can't you talk?
Sounds like he needs to sub. Go Pokemon isn't sub to the King L5 YouTube channel. Breaking news, you heard it here 3 times.
Should I not want to rely on Psychozar or Tampling or one of those guys?
And then Iron Boulder. This is actually not Terra though, which I think is a big step down from Terra Boulder. But like Terra Hydrapple, it's probably worth it, right?
Yeah, and they talked about it. It was crazy how fast the speed went in this draft. Like speed went so quickly in this draft. I remember they were who was kind of crashing out in general chat because there was just like no speed left. He's like, I have to draft fucking non-Terra Boulder round 3. No.
Yeah. I mean, I had that same issue, right? Because I had Turtle Lando T in my first 2 rounds, but I ended up getting Halucha for my speed, and I think he's like reasonable enough.
I fuck with the side profiles of all these blender sprites. I don't know what they're looking at, but it's important.
It's something important off on the right side. You've heard a lot of fraud allegations towards Iron Boulder, not gonna lie.
With Terra, I think it's great. I've never seen it really drafted without Terra, to be honest with you.
You gotta turn off my Discord notifications. Whoops.
Clodsire also gave me much needed hazards in both rock spikes and T-spikes, which I lacked in my first
Yeah.
picks.
I mean, Claude, I remember a lot of people were like, wow, that's an early Claude. I mean, if you know who and the type of team you're drafting, you kind of need a Claude type mon, right?
Oh yeah, this guy is like pretty known for stall. He's like the new Theodore Manny, right? So you
He's
do
Wi-Fi
need an
Theo.
unaware guy.
He's
Because
what
at
I
this
see
point,
yeah.
at this point was Clefable taken by me? No, right?
Yes.
Or yes, it was.
No,
actually.
I think it was.
It was.
You got
yeah.
it like round 3,
Round
right?
4. So I got it before
Okay.
Claude. So he needs an unaware guy with like Aloe and like stuff like that. So
And like also like the hazards, right? We can't really have like stall without means of getting up 8 billion hazards.
yeah.
And I like Mandy too, right? Like just knocks everything and
I've
uses ground
actually
forever.
really grown on Mana Buzz recently. Like I think it's actually like super fat, relatively speaking, for the metagame. Checks a lot of guys. Foul Play Toxic is really nice.
Serena, no!
Also has Defog, you know, one of the few Pokemon with Defog this gen.
I'm curious on the Serena pick what you think about it. I hate this Pokemon in general. I think it's terrible. Do you think it's something that you need on this team, considering like?
I think Serena is really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what I mean. Like, well, we have like, I guess we have Fog and Mandy. We don't want to Fog, but like these 2 Mons, I don't know.
Like Serena
Something I
and
noticed about this
Fortress,
team.
These 2 Pokemon are like.
Oh my
On
God, his
paper-
eye! Or no, that's his.
Oh my god.
It's not his eye. It's not his eye. It's not his eye. It's his side. You dude, I thought he just had pink eye. I thought it was pink eye Fortress.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Same. That's actually
Oh,
terrifying.
God.
But these 2
Dude, I
Pokemon,
do not
Serena,
fuck with that. Turn him forward.
Serena Fortress, they like do stuff on paper and then you get to the actual game and they do nothing. Like every time they just do nothing. It's so ridiculous.
I think Serena can sometimes be like annoying to switch into. Like it's kind of strong.
I was
but
helping Rusi
yeah.
in PPL. He had Serena and it was like, wow, Serena looks like really incredible this matchup. You should maybe bring it. And then we tested out a little bit. Like, actually, this is unbringable. Like, yeah. It has Ice Spinner. Do not disrespect it. I will disrespect Fortress till the ends of the earth. That
Yeah,
Pokemon
yeah,
is
it gets really
terrible.
I get it though. Like you want spin, right? You don't want to fog away your hazards all the time. You know, with like these semi-stall balancy type builds. Right? I mean, this is just like stall at this point. Like kind of a mid stall.
Yeah, there's stall, but
like,
the
are they
last 2
good
picks
spinners?
kinda...
You know?
Are they good spinners?
Do they
No.
actually do that job?
Neither of them really beat ghost types, which is like
Ori definitely doesn't. I think Serena can kind of like
knock
threaten
off a
some
little
of them.
bit.
Strong
Yeah.
knocks, right? And even like strong power rips and shit. Like it has 120 attack. Like it's not weak. Fori just doesn't do it. Fori stacks hazards. In my mind, that's like the only thing it can kind of do. But you already have Claude.
Yeah, and there's the offense, guys. Terra, Hoopa, Unbound.
I think this guy's shice, by the way. I think this guy's really
Same.
cool in certain matchups. Like it just kills everything, man.
It really does.
For those who don't know, Hoopa has a base
It is a
attack
little
set at
slow, though.
160 and a base special attack set at 170.
Oh, for sure.
Incredibly difficult to
It's not like every
switch
matchup
off
it's
or
gonna do
dark
great,
forces
but
with his
there's certain
main
matchups where this guy just comes in and tears Terra Dark, Hyperspace Hole, or Fury, whichever one it was, and something just dies.
Yeah. Awkward Terra duo, not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, they both really want Terra when they're coming. Like, you never really want to bring a raw Hydrapple or a raw Hoopa. Sometimes I feel like Mew, doing any single thing I put my mind to.
And 2, it gave me a versatile attacker.
A nice
That's pretty
color
good.
palette. I mean, I see the vision, yeah.
I wonder, yeah, that's actually true. I wonder how Mew will be like, because I don't know, after using Mew, I really like using a more offensive tech context in this gen, but like, is it going to do that in this team? We already have Hoopa, and we're like drafting Stall.
interesting team to say the least, with the triple
I don't know.
support and Iron Boulder.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna build stall with like an offensive boulder or an offensive hoopa, like just there as like a win con. Chip things down with the stall core and pick up the pieces with an iron boulder. I think that's generally how he's gonna build the teams.
Sage, I think it's literally just going to be a case of like either hoopa comes or either hydropple comes. Like one is going to come,
It's
the other
like-
one is just not going to come.
I feel like it's hold on, let me go back a little bit so I can see the team. I feel like it's gonna be like either stall, or if he thinks that stall doesn't work in a matchup, he'll just bring hoopa, set up Mew, Iron Boulder, and then like offensive hydropple, stuff like that, Miss Magius.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
will
can-
say this is a team
you can get
who has
by.
it isn't like forced into like hard stall every
Yeah.
single week, which I think is actually kind of a benefit and like a cool part of the team. I think the quality of Mons is just low because he got punished for drafting round 1 Aloe as a
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
And I think that's super funny, personally.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Got super punished. You know, is Aloe 100% underpriced? For sure. That's my bit, but I'm not playing, so it doesn't punish me. He got punished for drafting the round one of it. So
Yeah, his
I don't know.
offensive
I don't
mons,
think considering it's that bad though.
they are all psychic types though. Like, although Boulder
Yeah.
is really more of a rock type,
Rock.
and Hoopa's really
Mhm.
more of a dark type. So, in typing, like strictly speaking, they are all psychic types, but they all function a little differently. So it's not that bad.
Well, even then, if you're bringing like offensive views, there's very often you don't even run psychic stab, and if you do, it's kind of not even like the big allure of the guy, right? You usually just have
Mhm.
like crazy coverage with DD or crazy coverage with nasty plot, maybe like psychic or psychic things for neutral clicks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Three
Which
psychics
one
that
is
don't put psychic.
him? Which one is...
The Necrozma, Manshine. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
right next to
yeah,
Hunky's
yeah.
really funny logo.
So, I mean, round 1 Aloe, it's definitely what was he cooking category,
Mhm.
but I feel like it is actually like low key like winnable, you know? I feel like he can
Yeah.
he can win with it, but I don't think it's like that strong of a team. Like, just the power level is generally going to be lower than everything else. So I think
Well, and
middle
keep
of
in
the
mind,
pack
you're
is kind
you're
of the
ranking
ceiling.
this. You're ranking this based on team alone, not how they use the team, how you think they'll do with the
Yeah,
team,
just like
or
the
are you
team.
kind of doing both? Okay, just the team itself. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a what was he cooking angle. Okay, but like, how do you break this? I mean, you could totally break it. You're totally right. I don't know. It might be relative. We might have to revisit because there's some drafts in this.
I think it would. I think it'll be towards the top end of what was he cooking if it ends up dropping that low. You know.
I think just for round 1 Aloe, we do kind of have to put what was he cooking because that is just kind of a meme that he's just committing to the bit. Yo, 40 watching and only 6 likes. Is this true?
Yeah, it's 9. I just refreshed it. He beat
Oh my
me to
God.
it.
Single digit? We can do better than that, folks.
If we get 10 likes, King L5 will play in a Wi-Fi draft.
I will do this. Yeah, this is true.
I disliked it. That doesn't count.
Thanks for the engagement, Glop. Appreciate that. Anyways, let's move on to Viz.
Dude, we got the waffle drafts.
We got the
immediately.
wafflers, yeah.
Viz is the goat. I love Viz.
Yeah, this
Wait,
is a
how does he-
3-minute thing.
Visually, me in new draft league, BBR. First pick, Sneasler. 17 points. 130 base attack. 120. I like it. Unburden ability.
He likes it.
Poison touch pressure.
Is he going for like the caveman bit? Is that what's going on?
Next pick, Ursa Luna. No, not that Ursa Luna. This one. Mind Eye. 130 base special attack.
Why is this so
HO
funny?
stands for Hisui offense.
Signature
Oh my
move,
god, he
beloved.
drafted Hisui offense. You're
Yeah.
right.
Next
emotes.
third, Hisui Arcanine.
Oh, he's kind
Oh,
of
that guy looks sick.
he's kind of
He
fire
He looks
though.
so fire. This is one of
Wait,
the
he's
coolest
so
Pokemon
big.
of all time, by the way.
I like it.
Yeah, one of the coolest Pokemon
I
ever.
like it.
Arcanine. I like it.
I like it.
Fourth pick,
Oh, that was scarf damage, by the
Mammoth
way.
Therian. 135 base special attack.
I like it.
Fifth pick, Gudra Hisui. Dragon Steel.
Whoa, that was aggressive.
150 base special defense.
Does he like it?
Sixth pick.
You keep on your toes. You gotta give him that.
Ooh,
Boosting
sharpness.
Stone Axe.
with 135.
So it's just a
base
Hisui team,
attack.
by the way. I don't
Yeah,
know if
if
you
we
guys
haven't
caught
figured
on.
it out. Yeah.
7th pick.
It's a Hisui team, and he likes it. It's really that
Tinted
simple.
Lens, Psychic and Flying. Coolmon. 8th pick.
He's just cosplaying a Pokédex, just like
Basical Legion,
all the properties of the Pokemon. Woman.
Terra.
Woman. Dude, fuck.
Adaptability.
Oh, never mind, I can't say it. Oh my god, what the hell is that damage?
Oh my god,
Oh my
Tuikyo's
god,
glitzy.
is he broken?
Good water
Giratina?
type, good ghost type. I like
Good
it.
night.
Oh,
Okay, that one makes
that was
sense, but the other
super
ones are
effective, yeah.
crazy.
I was gonna say Hydro Pump, Tuikyo, and Giratina would be insane.
Grass
Yeah.
typing, fighting typing.
Dude, it fucking Tuikyo Bliss, it might have.
Chlorophyll.
Yeah.
Victory Dance. Triple Axle close combat. Swordsman.
Hustle.
I like
I
it.
like it.
10th pick. She tug on my lug till I
Good.
30 stealth rocks. 184 defense, 127 base attack stat.
I guess a lot of attack.
11th pick for 1 point.
You ever get your
My
lug
trusty
tugged?
Steed Weird Deer. Intimidate.
Intimidate.
A plethora of
Ooh,
moves.
that's a big word.
Cool.
I
Nice
like
big
it.
nose. So that's my BBR draft. Let me know what you guys think about it.
Folks.
This is fire. That was a good draft analysis. If we're doing a ranked on the draft analysis alone, finals contender. This is raw.
I like it.
I like it.
So, in terms of the draft, though, do we like it? I mean,
There's a lot of issues.
there's some issues here, yeah. Yeah.
There's just, I mean, like, the way the Hisui mons are set up, if you only draft them, you're going to be weak to a lot of very specific typings, you know?
Yeah.
Triple Rock with ground resist, Hisui Lilligant. The only fair resist is, like, Arcanine before it Terras, and it's still an Arcanine that's going to be used offensive. Like, there's a lot of, like, tough ones. There's not great Icers in it. Like, it's a Hisui team, right? There's some fun offense.
But I like
You
it.
can, like, beat people really quickly. Yeah. HO,
Uh,
Hisui offense, baby.
Yep. So,
I'm stealing that shit, by the way, Super Dolphin. I'm commenting that in this video. You better do it before me, or I'm doing it.
all right. But where do we put it on here? I mean, what was he cooking? I mean, we know what he was cooking actually, but like,
It's a theme team, right? Yeah.
it is a theme
What do you
team.
think is better, though? The Aloe Stall team?
I think the stall's
or
better.
the,
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It is more functional in nature. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think Hisui and Arcanine with Terra is really freaking good. However, I don't know if it can like carry all Hisui and Mons. I mean, I'm sure Viz will
I
do
think
well
he
with
really
it
wanted
because he's the
Overquill or
goat.
he really wanted Overquill or like Hisui Quillfish, and he
Yeah, but
didn't get either of those.
They both got taken, so like
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
that's really rough.
I think
right?
those ones alone is gonna make it bigger. It's so hard to have like hyper offense, Hisui offense, and not have any spikes. Like at all. He
Yeah.
just does not have spike, which is also really rough for me. So yeah.
But I think
Aloe team is definitely
we have to
better, I
put it
think.
in the cooking category. But anyways,
He was cooking.
he traded H Quill. I mean, maybe he did, but
He
spoilers.
should get it back.
We're just going off
Never
the draft
anymore.
analysis.
Get to know the graveyard. Okay.
Cleaver hate watching as usual. Folks, you ever miss Stealth Rock?
Hey, you ever miss Spike? Ain't nobody yelling at Samurott.
Yep.
What?
All right, we
is
got
poppin',
J-Bear.
people? You got J-Bear here, bringing you all.
J-Bear
my
very
season
close to
9
1K
BBR
subs.
draft
If you're not
breakdown.
subbed, go ahead and sub to him.
If you've been watching
25 away. We have
been
34
uploading
people in here.
NCP, and
Maybe
That's
we can
big.
make that
We can do
happen.
it.
Sunday every
We can
Maybe.
do it.
Maybe, just maybe.
11 a.m. Eastern.
Right now.
BBR will occupy
Mhm.
a Saturday upload slot.
Then he can make
from 11
$8 billion.
And compared to the NCP, we're going to be taking it a little
Could have
bit
picked
more,
Overquill and waited on
into
Cleavor, like,
my
when was the last time that guy was
real craft side of
drafted?
things,
So
as
true,
I
actually.
really enjoyed just
His
being
order
able
was
to
a
be
little bit
like,
off, I
"Hey,
think.
We're in the battle. This is what we got. This is what they got," and just kind of run.
Hey, King L5, 1K right
That's what
now.
I'm
Can we
saying.
please get 87 subscribers, please? We have 37 people here. We can make it happen.
Before all of my games.
Could we?
Hopefully that'll help
Yeah.
You guys become better players. as
Yeah, don't
well.
skip math class, bro.
And so, getting
I don't got math class no more. We're good.
Yep.
16 coach.
Maybe enroll in some math classes.
I don't want to, I'll be honest.
I
I
get
really
it,
don't
bro.
want
I
to.
get it.
See, we got 110 points. to draft 9.
Love maps.
We do be having 110 points.
And we have 28 post Terra tax Terra points to spend on 1 to 3 Terra captains.
Some surface integrals. Yup, so true.
Me when I just fucking make up words. All right, man.
Into beforehand. So before I unveil,
OG Albina, afraid of the unknown.
that you like and
Yeah, that mod's pretty strong. Choice specs, hidden power, psychic.
comment
If I'm a fighting type, I might die to
so
that.
much. I really enjoy responding to everyone's comments.
You do be yapping, huh?
And you can't see my first pick until you comment, so I'm giving you 3.
Wait, you can't see the first pick until you comment?
No. I want to see
What
it.
should
I
we
want to
comment?
see it. I
What
want
should
to
we
see
comment?
it.
Folks, what are we commenting here? I'm taking the first suggestion I see in chat.
Go.
Hmm.
Shout out to stream delay, by the way.
I know, right?
There's a-
It really kills the,
Dude, in
the
30
momentum
seconds,
here.
they're gonna give you a fire.
I like it. That's kind of fire. Alright, so now we can see the round 1.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
I was getting nervous.
Our
I thought he
first
didn't draft. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Terra Great Tusk. I do like it.
Not
I like it.
I do like it.
For 20 points, the highest the Terra
He
tax
was his first pick in the description.
20
Brother,
great
if you're looking at the
tusk,
description of the video,
1 point of Terra
before
tax.
we look at the first round pick, I don't know. It's like when people are like, man, I can't believe the comments spoiled the battle.
Why
What
you
the
down
fuck
there?
are you doing down
Yeah.
there? I had some people in BBL lose it on other people because like, wow, I can't believe you spoiled the game for everyone.
Yeah.
Terra
This is
Great
so
Tusk
unlucky.
advocate, especially in the last few seasons of just showdown leaks, and so that really swayed me to Terra my Tusk.
Yeah, Terra Tusk, by the way,
Later on
in
the
World
little
Cup
bit,
has had some really
Sir
strong games.
Terra Captain fell to me, but
Really like it.
Terra
I was
on my
able to
Tusk.
Terra Great Tusk, so
Does
in
she?
its base form, it has an incredible
And it was great.
combo of ground and fighting.
Thank you, very
Check
cool.
my flying, but we have covered for flyers in the Ice Spinner,
ChatGPT
the
description.
Supercell Slam,
So
if I
epic.
need a little bit more of a risky option.
That was the meta a couple years ago. You could tell Jaybirds get back into it.
Yeah.
2 stabs are great, but plenty of defensive options to choose from, plenty of offensive options to choose from.
Yo,
plenty of
respectfully,
defensive options that can
I'ma
also
go
be
ahead and,
offensive options, 'cause Great Tusk has an
let's do like
Yeah, there's a-
1.25. Like,
as well as
let's keep it rolling.
really solid physical defense can pretty much
King on 5, how will you know what Great Tusk
any
does?
physical threat that I want.
Great Tusk, it just does
most of the time
everything.
without committing the
We all
Terra,
know this.
and, if we really need to,
The kind soldiers commenting spoil each other, saving the draft. They could hear me.
oftentimes we will look to
Facts.
commit
I
our
agree
Terra
because it's just a free comment for no reason, which is fire. I love those.
So look forward to seeing Great Tusk as a Terra.
I'm looking forward to it.
And just for the
I like
utility
it.
that it provides to the team, it's a rocker, it's a spinner. I really
Okay, while we
like
watch J-Bear, because I know his team and I think it's pretty poggers, I'm gonna go make some ramen. I'll be back.
Alright.
Are a good rapid spinner and then a really solid S or A tier speed option. I really think there's only 2
Okay,
S tier
so,
speed
like,
options in
Stealth Rock
Macro,
Rapid
really
Spin,
S1,
usually
really
that's
fast
more of a
lanes.
regular
And
Great
then I
Tusk
really
thing.
add
Terra
music
Tusk
to
usually has
speed
better
options
things to
compared
do.
with any
So I would love
rapid
to
I
see
do.
some
Otherwise,
other
I don't think I
like
can
Stealth
really rapid
Rockers,
stuff.
spinners,
So
that
we
sort of
got one
thing.
of the best Pokemon in the format. We got one of the best spinners in the format. Now we need to get our speed option, especially in 16 coaches. That speed dries up very quickly. So to pair with my
Could we get the round 2?
I believe to be one of the more solid speed options in the format.
Right.
With
There we go.
Cinderace.
So this is the other
15,
removal,
which I
right?
thought was pretty fair. Was,
So,
you know, a notch or two below
because Terra Tusk
Scarada
usually
and
doesn't really
Greninja,
want
even
to
a notch
spin
below, like,
necessarily. Its
Lightning
best set
Boost,
is usually the
Ki,
speed booster,
and, Dark Rock.
defensive
So,
Terra,
yeah, that's pretty
and
fair
then
for
bulk
Cinderace.
up.
Another mon that I've seen been having a lot
So
of success
having
with.
Cinderace to
Gives,
deny,
a
or at
strong
least
physical presence,
uh,
especially to pair with the Great Tusk.
disencourage.
really hate on steel
What am I
types,
trying to
which
say here? What's the word for that? I'm sure there's a word for
don't like
that.
fighting steel types, so
Um,
and what it also does is add like because Libero we can have like
Dissuade, yeah, that's the one. So Dissuade Spike Stack, basically, which is all you really need. You're able to like force your opponent to not bring Hazard Stack. That's one of the best things about Cinderace on your draft, right? But of course, like the strong fire move is a close second in that.
Obviously, is a great stab option, and we have priority with Sucker Punch. I think it's
The Powerball, Will-O-Wisp. Like you can do like choice band
and
sets, you can do Boots, Wisp, Court Change kind of things. There's a lot of different things you could do, right?
Potentially, like if we want to be Prody or Libero, we can do Sword Stance double-edged shenanigans. If we don't, we can always.
My
just
speed
stay
booster
with
Tusk
using
feels like it's
Sword
zero
Stance with
attack
Fireballs
timid.
and other coverage.
It's still jolly, but like that is generally the best set, the most threatening most of the
Libero is
time.
a returning championship member, I believe. And up next, I really wanted to, like I said, get something that really punishes.
Alright,
the
what's
steel
up
types
next?
And also just some special offense. So if you guys want to guess what that is, I'll let you guess. It is actually Latios.
the burger special, the Latios, right? This guy used to be the GOAT, but has fallen off really hard in SV. Like, what can you do, honestly? Like, a lot of dark types being really good this gen really contributes to that effect, but, yeah. I hope he doesn't forget about Luster Purge. I mean, the amount of times I've seen Psychic Latios in SV is actually really high.
I can drop some strong Dracos, can click the buff
15 points, poor guy. And that's high for it, I'm not gonna lie. Fast pivoting is nice. It does have flip turn, which is like better than nothing, right? You have a shiny Latios? Nice. Latios better? I tend to agree, yeah. Just healing was just so powerful this gen.
Also be a great setup threat with Calm Mind or Agility in the late game, so yeah, Latios I think is a pretty solid pickup for the team, and I think synergizes
But yeah,
really
dark
well.
types being really good, like Ting Lu, for example. Roaring Moon is faster. Like, you can't even run Scarf Latios versus Roaring Moon. It's just going to outspeed with a DD or a speed booster. Stuff like that.
Round 4 was time for Primarina. This was a mon that I was looking at in the NCP, and one that I also
And Primarina, this Pokemon is actually really cool. I want to see more out of this Pokemon. I think the Psychic Noise sets are really, really powerful into fatter builds. Just Calm Mind, Draining Kiss, Psychic Noise, that sort of thing. It's really, really good at weakening things for the rest of your offense to clean up. That's something I really like about it. It kind of serves as like a pseudo taunt, almost. Prevents healing. But you get to attack while doing it. Depends on the team, but usually due to the point stiff, I'd argue yes.
To this point, you know, we got like a Pokemon with
for Mesprit versus Uxie, I feel like Uxie has really fallen off. Like, I don't really see it too much anymore. And when I do see it, it's not really too impactful, right? And so the healing wish is probably better. Although I think Mesprit also is not super fantastic right now.
Up next, there's one Pokemon that I think is.
I think a lot of psychic types are hurting because of the dark spam that's like so common right now.
One repeat member between BBR and NCP.
And JRicky, I do like JRicky on this team. Probably one of the best double screens healing wish users.
Healing Wish allows you to play some matchups like super.
So allows you to get those screens up into that Terra Tusk. Can go for bulk ups and stuff like that.
Like, let's say Great Tusk doesn't want to Terra until it's like almost too late. We can Healing Wish it up, and then Great Tusk can fulfill a completely different role down the line. So that was my pick of JRicky. I think I wanted a secondary rocker.
Thank you, Fergie. Very cool.
To run it too often. So
2 psychic types? What?
Is nice. This is now our 4th straight momentum user, which I think is, you know, don't necessarily need to be like
draft league.
Like,
yeah.
But in this team, you know, we have a lot of.
Me when the draft league player clicks U-turn.
Like these last 2 picks have been like solid defensive pivots to really.
Prim dissuades dark spam.
So
does it? Because I feel like.
Up next,
if you have 2 dark types, it's only gonna, you know, really be able to check 1 at most.
Ultimately, I decided, I kind of logically deduced one of the 2 Pokemon
it doesn't, yeah.
We're gonna get sniped, and one of them I think
type overlap is fine. Yeah, I know. I'm just joking around there. I think type overlaps is something that's become a lot more common actually.
I thought it was a great Pokemon. It did
and Overquill, poor Viz, right?
So being able to be a bulky poison, what I was looking for was a, you know, fighting wasn't too
and
much.
Tusk has eject pack too, so smart. Yep.
Tusk can often help out with fighting types, so I didn't necessarily think that I needed a poison that was resistant to it, but I did want a grounded poison.
That's fair, yeah.
Is, I think,
you already have fighting resist.
Just, you know, we have JRicky for a lot of those psychics, but Ghost is a bit of an issue, and I really wanted to dissuade Terra Ghost.
That Rachi snipe hurt. This is so sad. JRicky has been getting a lot more popular in the past like year or 2.
It's going to be a pretty good option at this
People were kind of sleeping on it early gen, but it's actually really good.
Of spikes and toxic spikes. It gives solid damage options with Crunch, Gunk Shot.
He doesn't have a Firewater Grass Core yet? Oh no. What'll he do?
That's a great option for Overquill. And gives
I think he ends up drafting a grass type though.
Nice. You know, I always shout out my priority users whenever I
What's up, Darkrai? How we doing?
I guess I didn't shout out Primarina's Aqua Jet, but you know it has it.
You're not a huge fan of JRicky?
Yeah, I figured Overquill did exactly what
I mean, to each their own, right? I think it's pretty good.
Dragonite, and Dragonite I thought would be a.
I've actually seen Terra JRicky before. Actually, I've seen it sweep with Terra Dark Calm Mind stored power. That was cool. I forget who used it, but I've definitely seen it before.
Iteration of BBR, so I think it'd be like a nice callback to do that again. But ultimately,
you like Screamtail though, which is weird. I mean, there's a lot of people who like Screamtail. Shout out to Keegan. He's like Mr. Screamtail. But I've kind of like, I don't really like Screamtail too much these days because it just feels a little bit too passive. like allows free switch-ins, do a lot of stuff. That being said, T-Wave Encore is pretty annoying. No shout out Low QP for Screamtail. I mean, we can shout out Low QP, but he's using Terra Screamtail, which is different. Okay, Jolteon. So this is like the kind of team that I really like Terra Jolteon on, because Great Tusk is great without Terra. So if you see a really strong Jolteon matchup, you can still bring your Great Tusk and it's going to be great. But your Jolteon is also going to farm, so there's that like, there's that kind of thing going on there. And if Jolteon doesn't have a good matchup, you get to use Terra Great Tusk. Like, who's going to complain about that?
Like an offensive Terra Ice, get through the grounds, get through the dragons that resist your electric stab. You know, now we have Alluring Voice to get through some dragons. But,
It does have Alluring Voice, yeah.
Have that Terra option on my Jolteon. And so, yeah, this is what we were working with as our secondary Terra captain.
It is very ground weak so far, though. This team, like 4 weaknesses, 1 immunity being a Latios, not really the sturdiest, and there's the ground resist, right?
But I have not had the chance to try it out yet.
Slitherwing.
On this team. I think that is fine.
I think Screamtail needed Moonblast as coverage, for sure. Yeah, Dazzling Gleam is just so weak coming off of 65 special attack, like, come on, guys.
Options can run like Stun Spore, can run Will-O-Wisp.
Now that you use Terra Aleki, you don't think you could go back? I mean, Terra Aleki is pretty universally banned in a lot of places, so... I mean, that makes sense, right? You're using an Uber.
Stopped by Slitherwing. Shout out that alliteration right there. And I think
Slitherwing Goat. Seen so many random Slitherwings lately. I think Slitherwing is fine if you're using it as like the utility kind of Pokemon, but as an offensive mon, I think it leaves a lot to be desired.
Top 8, and I was like, you know, I think that we might have the best top 8 in the league. Granted, we did not leave ourselves a lot of
best top 8 in the league?
Nobody really did.
Is that true? I mean, it's definitely up there, right? Some really strong mons on there.
We did not have the best Overpound Wellspring matchup, and potentially I didn't want to have to Terra my...
And then, of course, the token Wellspring counter, like the Bulky Grass. I did the same thing with Vileplume, not gonna lie.
Fight well, and I think that is overall a great way to handle my last picks. And then I went with Dunsparce as my last option.
Dunsparce. Little story time about Dunsparce. Once upon a time, a few years ago, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna draft Dunsparce and bring it to every single week and see what happens. And you know what happened? I freaking relegated for the only time in my career. This Pokemon is so ass. But highlight of the season was when I led off with Dunsparce into a Choice Banded Terrakion. And not only did I get rocks up, I also killed the Tarak. So, explain that one to me.
For that Aimel battle, I've talked to Zooch, so we'll be getting a team building with Zooch.
Vileplume isn't weak to U-turn? Yeah, Vileplume's better. It costs more points though, so makes sense.
D.Rey, and then coming up from the D-League, we got all 3 of them.
135 base attack with Stab CC, it's not a weak move. It's not a weak Pokemon, but when I see it used offensively, it doesn't work out. So that's just my experience with it.
It would be great if we made playoffs and could
counter. Yeah, I stealth rocked on a Stone Edge miss, and then I countered the next turn. Took 80%, killed the Tarak.
See you guys next time. Peace.
All right, so. Hey, thanks for the member, Big Mouth. Update the count to 9 now. We're 1 away from unlocking that emote slot, which will be used on a JRicky, or not JRicky, a J-Scurf top 5 emote. So we already have JRicky Citrus Berry as the emote, but that'll be the next one, J-Scurf top 5. Do you love the random moves it gets? You beat a Tusk Whistler by running Hurricane. Yeah, it does have a crazy move pool, but I think if you're just like using the standards like Smogon sets, it's usually never going to work out. But when you like get deep into its bag, the Hurricanes, the Will-O-Wisp, the Stun Spores, that's when it gets really annoying to play against. So like if you lean more into those utility sets, I think it's a good Pokemon, which I think on this team is probably what you're going to use it as. But yeah. By just running Wisp, yeah, that's also true. But this team overall, I mean, it's a little bit weak to ground, right? The ground resist being Slither and Blossom and Latios. I mean, it's not nothing, but it's also like you have a lot of weaknesses to ground. Like, for example, if you're playing against an Iron Treads, like, what do you even do? I mean, Slitherwing max defense, maybe, But I mean, it doesn't look super great, right? Knock off the boots, volt switch on it, get some hazards up. All of a sudden, those heavy slams or iron heads, whatever, are looking pretty threatening. Hack regenerator on Slitherwing, so true. Most grounds lose to Tusk anyways, except like EP Lando. I mean, yeah, but you don't really want to be using your Tusk to check ground types on this build when you have like Terra on it. It's usually Terra Tusk is so that it can enable its offensive sets a lot better, and they just become that much more unstoppable. But yeah, Tread's EQ, nice 20 to Tusk, but then you're weakening your Tusk, you know, which is valuable in itself. But yeah, and also like you could sub Endeavor that. That's a good trade. But anyway, Gliscor versus team, like exactly like Gliscor. What are we doing against Gliscor? Earthquake, dual wing beat, Swords Dance. Heck, throw an agility on there. Like it's really just Latios that can check that thing. Yeah, that's a little bit rough, right? Yeah, definitely a little bit weak to ground types, but I mean, all in all, there's only like 4 really solid ground types in the format in terms of like offensive grounds, so it's not the worst thing ever with 16 coaches, and you already have one of the best ones in Great Tusk, so maybe it's not the end of the world. It is definitely scary facing Great Tusk, Latios, like Cinderace Prim. These are some good offensive Pokemon. Like, I'm sure he'll have the tools to win any given week. Has to be like Fat Ice Beam Latios and Prey. Yeah, I think that's really your Gliscor counterplay. But, you know, maybe that's enough. Weakness Policy JRicky to bait them out. Maybe. Love offensive Gliscors. Gliscor's currently tied with Crook for your favorite ground type. Crook's interesting, right? We won a BBL with Owen's Crocodile build, and I liked building with that thing throughout that season, but in general, I tend to draft like the better ground types on my teams. I think ground is an important typing. I'm usually never one to skimp on the ground type. That's just how I like to roll. Anyways, J-Bear's team. Where are we putting it here? Because I think this might be a title contender team. What do we think, though? What do we think about J-Bear? Low title or high playoffs? Title contender? Is the DD Dragons with Earthquake plus Stab, D-Knight Moon, Terraments are scary? Let's see. DD D-Knight? I mean, yeah, that's a massive ass threat. Roaring Moon as well. I mean, you have Prim at least, which is better than nothing. This better than Oras plus Terrap squad? No, that's my squad, so it must be better. Who is cooking Stall? That's what he's cooking. So true. First obtained Crook in a transaction near the end of my season. Their second season of draft. Didn't miss a game after I picked it up. I mean, it's definitely cool. Terrakeld is the sauce. It's so good, man. Keld is the next big thing, I'm telling you. You know that squad is staying on top. I mean, the more I look at this team, the more I see some defensive holes that maybe are some problems. Welcome back, Owen.
I just got here. Who's winning?
We're just looking at J-Bear's team, trying to rank it.
Ooh, we're still on this one.
Title, he's very good, plus the team is good. I mean, we're not so much worried about the player strength necessarily, just like the draft itself.
We need a burger tier. True.
We need a burger tier, so
this team is burger. Next. Yeah. I think it's definitely. What are the categories again when you go back? So what are the big holes you saw? Because I think he is kind of ground weak, being that his ground check is Slitherwing and that Pokemon is a Slitherwing.
Someone pointed out like the Dragon Dance dragons are a really big deal, right? Anything that can hit Primarina basically is just cooking the steam.
Yeah. That's fair. Special dragons are kind of handled well, but like the more physically oriented ones are Wong.
Like Dragonite with DD, Dragon Move, E-Speed, and Thunder Punch. Is he not just cooked?
You got Tusk, technically.
Yeah, but is that enough? Maybe it is with Terra Fairy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like Terra Fairy player is also strong.
If you factor in like that you can, if you can bring Tusk as a defensive guy, maybe it's not that bad.
Well, also keep in mind like maybe like defensively he's weak to them, but how many Dragon Dance guys are faster than Scarfladios?
I mean,
can't he like always revenge them?
D-Knight gonna just pull out Hurricane? You've tried that? I mean, this one can Terra out of that weakness at least, but yeah, that is gonna do a lot of damage, probably like 60%, you know? Like, goddamn. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's probably still a title contender. Like,
yeah, definitely not like a perfect team, but
is it better than mine? I think no, but I'm biased.
I'm saying Latios is good. I'm not saying Latios is good.
I'm biased, guys. I think mine's better.
I'm the best.
Sue me.
I don't think Latios is like great. I just think if we're specifically talking about the instance, or I actually think Latios is good on the Steam console because it's like the third strongest mon. Not like the first or second. But I think in the context of losing to dragons, Latios is usually the way to not lose to them a lot of the time because you just run Scarf and you outspeed them and you Draco Meteor them and they die. Unless like Roaring Moon, but even then you have a good Roaring Moon check, right?
This one's mine for comparison.
Somebody didn't watch a draft analysis.
Dude, mine's so fire. You see this? Goddamn.
Raw.
So raw. Yeah, I think title contender's fine.
Does it die to +1 E-Speed after 2 rock switchings? Is Dragonite fucking broken?
He's really strong. He's
I
really
understand
strong.
that, but that calc just doesn't make sense in my head. I'm not saying you're wrong and that's not the calc, but in my head, nuh-uh. You know?
Oh, this is a 9 to 11 Pokemon thing. I also just realized my webcam and stuff is kind of blocking some of these picks on these. So let me just move these over.
Also the end ones though. Does it matter?
Yeah. But we could just do this a little bit and it's fine. Alright. Now let's look at A12's draft. Alright, A12. What are we looking at here?
Hello, Diggersby enthusiasts, and welcome.
Diggersby enthusiast? That's me.
Yeah, I like his little gif. I like his little deli bird. That guy was fire. Don't like that. Not a fan of that.
Weakness.
that was super funny, I'm not gonna lie.
Really don't like how
you have given me too much slander in your BBR D.League run.
What's happening?
I have kidnapped your beloved Hydrapple. I did not need to enlist the help of Arceus because I was too weak. Are you always lying?
What is that?
You must give me 3 Robux or win the BBR.
Okay. I refuse to negotiate with Raikou, so I guess I have to win this season. But luckily, I built a team that's as ready to stop Raikou as it is to conquer the BBR.
Dude, why is it so cool? That
Delibird
Delibird thing? Yeah, with the glasses?
He's so raw, yeah.
Yeah.
Aura farming all over the stream, man.
What the hell is BBR? Big Booty Roserade?
Please, 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 please.
please. No, it's a Breed Checks Battle Royale. It's a Wi-Fi league.
Perfect for catching him off guard.
That'd be a raw custom avatar? That's actually so true.
I have absolutely no idea. But
anyways, Meowscarada. I mean, Meowscarada I think is a top 4 Pokemon on the draft board, so makes sense. And Double Grass. Yippee!
Oh my god. Chat, you aren't ready for all the double typings we're about to see.
The Unga Bunga Ivy Cudgel. What are top 3? Tusk, Bolt, Torn,
Now,
probably.
as a greedy draft player, I couldn't resist taking Golden
Oh,
in
Ival.
round 3.
So maybe
Its motto,
maybe I was top
"Make a
5
make,"
then.
deeply resonates with me. And it also sets up Light Screen, further crippling Raiku's already lackluster damage.
The entire draft analysis is how I beat Raikou with all of these Pokemon. Also, they're good by themselves.
Yeah.
And if it annoys me, it'll
Was
annoy
Valiant banned?
others
No, it wasn't. I went
as
first
well.
overall. We're not doing these in pick order, by the
For
way.
round 4, I drafted Landorus I. I'll be honest, I think this Pokemon is kind of terrible.
Wait, what's going on
but
here?
It offers 2 pivotal defensive
Oh, why is it
moves
covering?
for the team, so I figured, why not?
Hey, what's fourth?
I next
Did you skip
grabbed
it?
Pokemon on
This must be a bit. This must be. Oh.
With its bike, which is
Oh, they
something
did
which
it
I
back.
always
Oh, they
found
do. They probably did his slides in an incorrect order, so he didn't
Oh.
want to make it look like he drafted round 4 Cyclozar.
as-
Yeah.
they're
Hey, I
very
understand it. I
No,
get
it-
it.
It is round 4
And I didn't
Cyclozar.
wanna
I
run
just looked at the
Evolve
doc.
with Goldengo, so I just
It's
kinda
literally
settled
round
for
4.
Cyclozar.
Wait, then why'd he do that?
Cyclozar
I don't know.
also has Regenerator,
I don't know, just let him
allowing it
cook,
to
I
act as a
guess.
solid defensive
He's not
weapon.
at a
With
wheel,
its
so it's not like somebody messed up that bad. That we would have known that in the draft.
I think we would have
For
noticed.
round 6.
You say
I might
double
put it
grass, by the way, but just wait.
Slander against this Pokemon has gotten
Just wait, you'll
way
see.
out of hand, and I think it's about time we show what it can truly do. Let's go.
Shout out to
Monkey
Cyclozar.
Dog. It's time to prove that
Goat.
the Royal Three
No!
is truly supreme.
Insert the thumbnail right now.
Now,
Can I
we're
pull it
coming
up,
to the
actually?
midpoint of the
Hold up.
draft,
Let me see if I can find it. Actually, I'll play this while I...
and
look for it.
berries were scarce. And I don't want to just lose to outrage.
Can I? I'm gonna also fourth ball immersion break. L5 and A12 play week 1, so we get
So
to see
true.
Monkey Dory hate watching in real
Oh yeah,
time.
here it is, here it is. Can I just do this?
Yeah.
This is so fire. Just the fact that the image exists on my hard drive is just so good.
Everybody has their favorite thumbnails. I have a couple that encourage me that are so fire. L5's is him just saying Monkey Dory fucking sucks.
Yeah. Anyways, comfy here.
Verse offensive coverage of very, and fairy.
It also has grass.
Oh.
Also
It has the Florges,
special defense.
Florges kind of thing.
Allows it to act as a
Yeah, this is
defensive
basically a grass
blanket
type.
Special check.
Mhm.
If you think about it, Monkey Dory's basically a grass type because grass rhymes with ass.
This is since I
So
think
true.
Landorus is kind of a
You're
Two
so
water
smart.
types.
community, so I wanted to grab another one. Also,
But wait, there's more coming, right? Yeah, there's more coming.
Yeah.
decided to grab Toxapex.
This guy really saw my Terrakeldeo and he said no, absolutely not.
Nah. Dude, he precognition knew he was gonna play you week 1. He said nah. Pick a Terra type. I fucking dare you.
This is targeted racism, I think, towards my Keldeo.
And is a regenerator.
Terrakeldeo still wins these.
You know, that's always useful.
I mean, it's looking
Also,
pretty rough at the
one
moment.
A Toxapex,
Two faster
which is a
grass types that
primary
Oko it.
which is
I
very
mean,
funny.
Toxapex, Lantern, Comfy,
Now,
even
if you're
Goldango,
drafting
right?
two
Can just be
lines,
Spadef.
But wait, there's
you
more.
have to grab a grass
Oh wait,
in Terra.
hold on. I think this team might be weak to Keldeo. Let me just pick up Jumpluff. Like, come on, man. Let me live.
So feel free to watch it. If you want to know why I drafted the
He does not want to see you pay your mortgage, by the way.
He really
And
doesn't.
for our final
This is personal.
A12, that's your week 1 title. A12 wants L5 to live on the streets. A12 wants me to live on the streets, lose my home.
Did he C-team you? I mean, this is the counter team format, draft league, you know, so can't even blame him.
So fun fact.
So fun fact.
Sneasel.
By the way,
Dude,
Hisui and
he has,
Sneasel,
he has 3 grass types, and he's still so weak to ground.
low key, I did a mock versus Hisui and Sneasel, and it kind of cooked me, I'm not gonna lie.
Don't forget to
Like, I still won the mock, but he got his 2 kills. I'm not gonna lie. He got his 2. Talk shit about non-terra comfy the other day, just to get swept by one. Yesterday in a playoffs bet. What am I clicking on? Oops. Didn't mean to click on that.
Dumb.
You got swept by it because it ran Charm? Oh, that's tough. That's a crazy tech, actually. It's sneaky good.
All right.
Yeah, I agree.
What are we thinking?
What do you think? I think he's waffling. I'm not gonna lie.
This team is a little waffly.
It's like triple water, triple grass, double poison. No, triple poison. But your best poison is Monkey Dory.
Pack slander, no.
There's some frauds in here, like Lando I think is a fraud. Cyclizar is like less of a fraud necessarily, but it's just not a good Pokemon for a round 4 pick. I think this really leaves a lot to be desired. That being said, Ogerpon and Meowscarada are broken, so maybe he can win some games, but in terms of like the draft itself, I don't think this is a good one. I don't know if it's quite what was he cooking? Is it? I don't know, man. It might be. We might have a lot of chefs in the kitchen right now. You like Golden Go with the spikers he has? Yeah, like there is some like spike stack plus hazard block kind of thing going on here.
Okay, I'm back. I had like, you know, when you eat a noodle and it goes in the wrong hole and then it's in your nose, that shit sucks. I almost died.
Why are you snorting noodles?
Sometimes I forget how to eat food.
I get it, bro. I get it. Now-
So are you thinking, what was he cooking?
Kind of. I don't know. Remember Elf?
Well, like obviously the team looks wonky on paper, but like,
Well,
how
there's
does
a difference,
it all
right?
play into each other?
There's
Yeah.
a difference. That Toxpex had Scald and Knockoff. This one doesn't. It's a pretty big difference, considering those are the best 2 moves in the game. But he has no Dark. Yeah, he's lacking a lot of stuff, I'm not gonna lie, because it's triple water, triple grass or whatever, and triple poison. Like you have to be missing something at that point. A Dark type is definitely.
Well, you mentioned it
I mean,
too.
he has
Like I think the
Meowscarada,
triple
right?
grass is weird too because he has
Meow.
3 grasses that don't actually resist ground, which I think is very funny.
Yeah, the ground resists on this are like super ass. And I
And we have
Lano
3 grass
T,
types.
so you already know.
3 grass types, and we're this weak to ground. It's really
Yeah, like,
crazy
make
to
it
be
make
honest with you.
sense. So, I'm not gonna lie, he's a great player, but I think he's overcooked on this one. It'll be fun to
I agree.
pilot. I'm sure it'll be fun, right? But I can't put it as like a solid draft for the power rankings, you know? Like, as a player, A12 is fantastic. He's my GOAT. Like, I did a whole video glazing him. Like,
I was gonna say the glaze
literally
is
my
fucking
GOAT.
insane right
Literally
now.
my GOAT.
Into
However,
that, man.
his drafts are always a little bit funky. So, that's where we're gonna go. Okay, then we have JRicky, the inventor of the citrus berry. Let's see.
After a heartbreaking loss in the finals of the last Wi-Fi league we played.
Yeah, is that a reference to the Uzi Gunner? One of my first
duckling?
ducklings?
A duckling.
in, we are
My
Would you count
ducklings have
yourself
been
as the
going
number
crazy.
one? Would you count yourself as your own duckling this season?
Over the last
No,
few months,
that's
I have been
ridiculous.
training in the mountains,
I'm not silly.
Yeah.
and team tournaments,
The
trying to
JRicky
get
citrus
better
berry
since my
emote.
Dude,
first
Yeah.
JRicky trained in the mountains.
test as we
He's been in the
prepare
mountains the last 6
for
months, and now he's ready to win.
in the BBR,
He
we
has
actually made
been
it to
in the
playoffs, and
mountains.
due to some unfortunate
He went
hacks,
crazy
we
on
knocked out in the
Team
first round,
Portugal
so
this
we
season
definitely have
for
some
World Cup.
unfinished business here. Before we get into the draft, I'm going to be uploading draft league content for the next 3 months at least. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, go
He
ahead
said
and
I
drop a
might
like
die
on the video.
after.
It's a 16 coach league with high tier Terra with Terra preview, which is undoubtedly the best rule set in my opinion. We ended up getting
Yup.
a 7th pick and going
Plays a
into
couple
the
months
draft,
in the
my
showdown
goal was
scene.
to pick up the best Pokemon on the board. I mean, I haven't really used Great Tusk in this generation, but being pick number 7, it was very unlikely I'd get it. However, due to there being some very good high tier Terra captains, I was confident I'd end up with something good and of my liking. Now, going into this draft, and as of recent,
Are we gonna
I've
get
been
any King
really
L5
enjoying
plays?
drafting top heavy teams or drafting the minimum number of Pokemon possible, but making sure there is value in all of my picks. The reason being, logically thinking, you want to maximize the points you are bringing to a game every week.
This
So
is
if
something
you
we
have
talked
11
about
Pokemon
on
and
To It
have
KO before.
distributed your points evenly throughout the entire team, Every week you are
The
leaving
pod.
a lot of points on the bench. Players also tend to draft Pokemon just because they are
2K
a
reference.
certain type, but recently I've gotten more into the habit of drafting them for roles rather than just
Yeah, that was
picking up
definitely a
certain
drafted
Pokemon.
team in a conventional
Basically,
sense,
we can
Flies.
draft 9 total Pokemon,
Yeah,
where I
yeah.
opted to draft only 9
Can't believe his
Pokemon,
pool
so
let him
we
get
can
that.
value in every mon to fulfill the roles I need.
Oh, we're doing
Coming
live
off a strong
comms,
Draft League World Cup
Mark.
performance with Zarude, I decided to pick it up and make it our Terra captain and star. of
Terra
the team.
Zarude, this guy
Everyone
is a
knows how strong
2KO
Terra Zarude
fan.
actually is. I mean, it's been on a
Oh
good
my
rise
gosh.
lately and is unanimously considered a top 3 Terra captain. Why,
Yup.
you might be asking? Well, Zarude has an incredibly well-balanced stat distribution with good defensive and offensive stats. It's also a great setup
My
suit
team
for
did not know
bulk
ball.
up or sword stance, and even more straightforward sets like
Next
Terra
year,
Dark
my
Combo
money's on
sets are
Portugal.
really
They're
lacking
winning Draft League World
precision.
Cup.
Zarude's main
Maybe if they
downside
can
is
draft
mediocre
10
defensive typing,
Zarudes,
but if
maybe
you
they can
remove
make it.
that, then you give it the ability to set up on things it usually shouldn't be able to, and
Hey,
become
Darkrai.
incredibly difficult to kill.
Shut up.
Another unique perk about Zarude and what makes it so special is it has access
You put
to
the
a
microphone in your
double
fucking face. He said, "Hey, buddy."
but it also cures any status.
Look, not
element
everyone
that
can
you have
win all the
with,
time.
which is a typical way people will try to deal with Zarude.
Unlucky.
Next up, given how important speed control is in the current meta, I wanted to secure some elite speed nice and early.
Terra Zarude is
and
just a
so
broken
ended up
Pokemon. I
grabbing
used it in that
Iron
custom
Bundle.
Mega League
Funnily
for the
enough,
first time.
whenever we
Yeah,
first played
yeah.
in the
It's
BBR
very
such a
good.
stupid
we
mon.
drafted Iron Bundle and didn't miss a
No
single
thanky.
Hyper Pump all season, so let's
Max
hope we
Spadef
can
bulk
do
up,
that
good
today.
defensive type,
As well
win
as having
game.
very
Yeah.
little switch-ins, Bundle's main selling point is
Sometimes the
ability
ghosts
to
just get
offer me the
unlucky.
fastest
My strength
pace
of
on the
schedule
field
is
with
actually
extra
insane
engine
this World
speed
Cup.
or a choice scarf. This should allow me to have an offensive check to many things that attempt to set up or clean up late game with a choice scarf.
Right, Iron
I
Bundle
love the
though.
YouTuber effect if they have a picture and they like shake it slightly so that
Oh
you
yeah,
keep
yeah.
looking at it.
Ooh.
It's like you're a baby and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
they're shaking keys in front of your face.
Hey, it works.
Ogre Punk Cornerstone!
Owen just made the Poggers face IRL.
Oh my god!
But it's also a very good offensive Pokemon
Love
if you
Bundle,
have
don't
a
run
reliable
Pump.
rock move in Ivy Cudgel.
I mean,
No, you
have
run
to.
Pump.
You have to.
Yeah, what
it
are you
doesn't get
running?
anything else.
Me and Water Pulse Iron Bundle.
Yeah.
Double Grass. Freaking JRicky. Bottom 3 team.
I mean, be real, Zarude's a dark type and Ogerpon's a rock type. There's 0 grass types on this team so far.
Once again, we have double grass and no ground resist.
Yeah, true.
Zarude's staring out of it.
Much more spammable with Iron Bundle. Now, our next pick wasn't actually our
Exactly,
round four
Scooter.
pick,
This
but
guy
I
knows
wanted
ball.
to structure this draft analysis a bit different. Instead of presenting it in pick order, I want to showcase our draft in roles. So I'll showcase all of our offensive guys, and then we can move on to our
Wait,
defensive and
he's breaking the
pieces.
mold.
Whenever I'm drafting, I like to have 3 of what I
That's a
call
reference to the
oh shit
ability
guys.
Mold Breaker in
These are
Pokemon.
Pokemon that you
Is
look
it?
at the matchup and you are instantly like, oh shit.
Zarude's
I
a
hope so.
poison
It looks
type?
silly.
I wasn't so sure Ogerpon
Oh.
Cornerstone was the oh shit guy I needed, so I ended up drafting Speed Boost Blaziken. There's a few reasons as to why I did this.
Spoiler guard.
Chat. Can we guess what JRicky has in those middle picks? I can totally tell you what the pick is before, even like if I didn't know what his actual draft was.
So I wanted something to
It's something
super
dark,
punish that.
something
It also
sinister.
helps bundle offensively in pressuring defensive water types.
Bronzong, no, it's a little bit too dark for that.
And slowly dropped down the tier list
See an
due to
ugly
its
steel?
inability to perform brilliantly. And in the BBR,
Hey,
it
thoughts
was
on
priced at
Blaziken, by the way?
14
You
points,
used
so
Terra
I was
Blaziken,
willing to
right?
take a chance on it.
In,
Seemed like a pretty cheap oh shit
TGS?
guy, and with these 4 Pokemon, I feel my offensive
Well, no.
core demands more.
What do you think about-
me for being bad in GGS?
Like,
At this point, I
I wasn't making fun of you.
Blaziken,
We're saying you're the one who used
Well,
it.
I think it's actually, I think people who say Blaziken is bad are stupid, like draft like Hive Mind type thing, with like, it was broken before, now it's not, you know? So that means it's bad. I think it's good. It's probably not your fucking first overall pick, like I was, you know, I didn't TGS, but really strong mon.
Wait, where'd the
Is
Blaziken
TGS
go?
coming back? I'd love for TGS to come back. We've talked about a lot, like different ways we could bring it back. It's hard to like do something like that though, with how many tournaments are constantly ongoing, and the goal is to have the best shutout players to play it.
Yeah.
But there is plans and ideas and stuff like that that I have. It's not like a dead project.
To pair with Swampert, and this is a pick that pained me to make, like a lot, but that is Corviknight. Yes, I know Corviknight was great back in
Everybody
the day,
point
but
laugh at
Corviknight
JRicky. He has a
has also
Corviknight on his team.
the power creep of this
I'm not gonna lie,
Now, the
Corviknight has
only
been
reason I
pretty
dropped
impressive in
Corviknight is
World
because
Cup.
it was priced at
I hate
11
that guy.
bucks,
How many
which
points is he in
feel
World Cup?
makes it somewhat
I don't know, like
valuable.
10 or
That
11.
and there were no other
Okay.
really good steel types around. Its main role is to complement Swampert
He even hates
defensively.
himself for
I mainly
drafting
see myself
Corviknight.
using Corviknight as a U-turn bot where it comes in to take a hit.
I think
and
you
then
literally
moves
have to
down
use
for a
Corviknight like
round
that, by the way.
offensive.
I think like in
All
Gen
of
8 you
our
could just like switch it around and roost everything off. You only have 8 of them, and everything's so strong this gen, just U-turn.
Does get dual screen, so
I mean,
would not be against running dual screen.
I think the Iron Defense body press sets are pretty good.
This defensive core is Pheasantipity, which gives me 2
Kinda.
Pheasantipity.
so far. I think grounded poison type.
Let's go.
Dude, JRicky's team is so fire outside of his round 6 and 8 picks. I like every one of his Pokemon so much, other than these shitheads. I hate them.
Pheasantipity also has an insane Spadef stat, which pairs well with Corviknight in that regard. It's another Pokemon capable of acting as a bulky pivot where it comes in and U-turns.
This is back from China.
Pheasantipity has over other U-turns.
He is back from China.
Yeah. Owen hates birds. Are we just a bird
Yeah.
hater?
Yeah, they're not real. Government psyop.
I get
Going
it.
fizz, but it's not actually back. No, I genuinely think it's one of the worst Pokemon ever.
So I have 2 more Pokemon.
There was, before we dropped it, every week I wanted to bring Pheasantipity because it defensive typing is so good, and you're like, dude, yes, it saves me here. And then I was like, dude, I fucking can't bring it. It's terrible. And then I brought it, and it was terrible. Hate him. He's rid of the monkey door. Yeah, so is my left toe.
And then we can just bring it back to full once it's checked.
My right toe also better than Monkey Dory.
There's a lot of things. Dude, this fork that I'm holding right now for my ramen is also a better Pokemon than Monkey Dory.
I got a lot of toes that are better than Monkey Dory, let me tell you.
Do you have any that are worse?
No.
Anything thanks to its typing, ability, coverage, and stat distribution.
Alright, Mesprit, this is your healing wish into the root angle. I like it.
Yeah, I like this guy. This is a broken mon.
Offensive guy with pure coverage and even a setup sweeper with Calm Mind or Nasty Plot.
Gives him another rocker, which is nice because Cornerstone cannot rock. As a rock type.
Yeah, Mesprit is my go, and it's probably my favorite Pokemon to draft since it offers so much for usually around the 10-point mark. Our last pick of the draft is Dusknoir. Now, I really wanted Baby Rotom, but I was short on points, so Dusknoir was the spin blocker of choice. It will probably come to 1 or 2 games at most if I end up playing a great
Such a citrus berry mon. That's probably why I liked it.
Spike stack route. It
Who's
has
the better than Monkey Dory?
stat, but a really poor HP stat, which makes it not great at taking hits. But for 3 points, it might be serviceable, you know? That's the whole team. We have an offensive core of Terra Zarude, Iron Bundle, Speed Boost Blaziken, and Ogerpon Cornerstone. A defense out, and I am very.
Alright, so what do we think about this team overall? I mean, it has a
No,
Terra
I obviously
Zarude.
like shit on Corby. I actually really like this team. I think it's a good team.
It's pretty cool, right? Because the offense is all scary. Like, Zarude is like that big, like, scary guy.
I
in
win the
prep.
game. Yeah, I win the game. Yeah,
Always just threatening a sweep with bulk up or sword stance. Bundle is going to be faster than a lot. Forces a lot of prep on its own as well. And like that prep that you're using versus bundle, it doesn't really overlap with anything else. Like those like Spadef, like steel types, like AV, for example, completely useless item versus the rest of his draft. So
I kind of like it with Blaziken too.
yeah, like there's some cool stuff here. Like, it seems really hard to prep for all of these things because it's all like very unique prep that you need for these Pokemon. So it might be pretty strenuous in the team builder.
And those steals going Spadef for bundle, it means Cornerstone's gonna do like 30%
Yeah.
with Ivy Cudgel because he's broken.
And then low kick just kills. Like,
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Actually, yeah, I really like the Zarude win button, and then like the triple like immediate offensive core of like bundle Ogerpon Blaziken. Obviously, like Ogerpon and Blaziken too can like set up, but I feel like Blaziken's best when you just come in and click like a strong ass move every time, right?
What's up, Dougal? How we doing? All Ogerpods are really good, honestly. I totally agree. I think Hearthflame is like really slept on at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. Cornerstone is starting to get some more recognition, but I think they're all excellent Pokemon. I'm not gonna lie. Is this a title contender?
To say which team? I didn't super analyze JBear's team because I was making my food when we were doing that one.
It was.
I guess it's literally like
Tusk, Latios,
compared to
Cinder.
JBear's team. I kind of personally, I don't know. There's obviously a couple mons I don't like on the team. I don't like Corvi, like just in general. I understand why it's here though. I don't think it's like a terrible Pokemon. I do genuinely think that like Pheasantipity objectively on paper is a bad Pokemon. But I like Dusknoir as a 3-point pick too. It's like a great 3-point guy, right? I kind of like this team more than JBear's. Now I think
so as well.
Personally, if I was doing a tier list and it was title contenders, I'd have 2 people at the top, and then everything else is like playoff guys.
I don't think you need to do
I'd bump
that.
JBear down to the top of like playoff coaches, and I'd put JRicky at the title contender.
I mean, I don't think title contender has to be 2 people. Like, there can be multiple
Just
teams
these
going
people are
for
contending
the
That's fair.
title.
Yeah,
Like
sorry.
where I wouldn't be surprised to see any of them win the title, you know?
Mhm.
That's just what I mean by it.
Except for that King L5 guy.
What? No, he's the GOAT. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, I think that's probably fair to put him over J-Bear. I think that's probably correct. Anyways, next up we have Keegan. Alright, Keegan. 23 subs away from 800. So if you're not subbed to him, go check him out. Link in the description. But let's look at his draft analysis.
I hate Tornadus Therian.
I wonder what his round 1 is going to be.
It is everything I dislike about competitive Pokemon.
Best team
As
in the
an
league.
offensive threat, it can struggle to break
We'll
through
see.
popular defensive Pokemon, tending to be more useful as a mid-tier role player instead of the top-tier threat it's advertised as, usually just clicking U-turn and healing off attacks with Regenerator. But most importantly,
Why do we have an
it can just
OU
miss its best
replay?
move. I mean, how many times have you played Pokemon and lost because you missed the move you needed it to hit? Is Hurricane the worst move in all of Pokemon? Despite all of this, players still look at
Story time. Once upon a time, I was playing II with a Scarf Nidoking against a Megalopunny. I clicked Focus Blast and I lost. So story time over.
I'm mad about it still.
This was like 7 years ago. I still remember it.
In this Pokemon Draft League. Returning to the BBR, we are
You like
back
that
into
story?
normal
Thank you.
Scarlet
Thank
and
you.
Violet draft
This
league
is so
with the movers
sad.
From the BBL
Yep.
back on the ban list. A fun detour, but definitely excited to have them back where they belong. We got the 8th pick in the draft this time, which is actually quite bad. Picking in the middle of the draft opens up a ton of risk, having to wait 16
Cram speed
picks until
tiers?
you're next up. This
Well,
requires a lot of trust in your
I
plan and that
outsped, but I
people
missed
around
my
you
Focus
will
Blast.
Take what you want, which can be a pretty scary proposition when looking for key roles in the middle of the draft. As you can probably guess, our team starts with Tornadus Therian, one of the most expensive options
Alexa,
available
please
to
play
us.
Feel Like
So
Mew.
how can I
So
convince
true.
myself that this season will be any different? What tools am I going to give myself access to, allowing it to shine in its best
Oh, Terra,
offensive
of
roles?
course.
Entry hazards are a key aspect of any team in Draft League, especially Pokemon.
Dude, that knocked at 8 billion. And was that a physical Tornadus? Jesus Christ.
The most efficient hazards that are in the tier, with the move Ceaseless Edge dealing damage while setting up
Oh
spikes.
my god, Torrentee,
While these
Hisui, and
hazards do play
Samra.
really
We've never
well with
seen
our
this
first pick,
before.
it continues
This
to
is
add
new.
variance to our team, as Ceaseless Edge does give us another move we need to rely on with lower
Choice Band
accuracy.
Terra Torn is
The value
broken.
given
That's
to
actually
us
so
definitely
true.
outweighs
I think
the
it's one of its
risk,
better
however,
sets.
and gives us a
Low
top
key.
2 that'll put a lot of pressure on our opponent's team building decisions, forcing them to often bring hazard removals that can be
This
taken
Pokeball
advantage
tier
of by
ladder.
Tornadus
Bro,
Therian.
oh yeah, I forgot you got all these clips yourself.
Decision of the draft, with a wide variety of powerful offensive breakers.
Dude, Charizard on the ground looks so sick. I don't even care what you're saying in your video. Look how raw he looks.
He does look raw.
Best offensive dragon types.
He's
Aura.
pissed
Instead of
off.
being available, we go a different route with our Chaladon, a Pokemon that has been on my radar ever since it was released in the DLC.
Hey, Arch
Quite
is
a
cool
deviation,
here.
though, from what
I do like
Tornadus Therian
Arch.
teams normally do in this spot. The main reason is my own weakness to entry hazards. When looking at how to approach drafts, I often look at DPL teams to get a sense for combinations that work well and what against well constructed.
Plug DPL real quick. So signups for Captain Apps are out right now. If you join my Discord server, there's an announcement about that. If you're at all interested in captaining a team tour, really big team tour, go ahead, check that out. But yeah, this has concluded
Plug.
your commercial break.
Teams. These are 8-player draft pools, though, which with half the players makes it easier to get.
Are you
roles
captaining
like
Mr.
hazard
L5?
removal.
I most likely
You'll often
am.
hear me
Yes.
say hazard removal doesn't matter in Generation 9, and that mainly applies to the 16-player draft format, where most of the options outside of the top few just aren't worth the draft pick. I'm looking at you specifically, Serena.
Ooh.
This makes her channel on the pick.
Serena call out.
Yeah.
The team
He's
building
right,
a
though.
resilient hazard game to enable
Literally
our
right.
Tornadus Therian offensively. With our offense starting to take shape, we need to make sure that we have a utility Pokemon on our team able to remove pressure from Tornadus Therian from operating in
Spitting.
that role.
So true.
Screamtail fits the bill.
Screamtail!
Another one of my
The
team.
obligatory
Those are some of my most
Screamtail
used Pokemon
from
in
Keegan.
2024 for a reason, with a great
Screamtail!
11 and
Screamtail!
utility moves like Encore. It is hard to deny the impact that this Pokemon can have on games. The speed stat here is the key, allowing it to take over responsibility from Tornadus Therian, with the majority of common Terra captains or set
I think
of
this
threats
makes sense,
outspent
right?
by the defensive powerhouse.
You want your Torn to be
By the end,
offensive.
you'll notice our team also has an
Screamtail,
abundance of fighting weak
able to do a
Pokemon,
lot of
which
things that you would
Screamtail
want
does a
defensive
great
Torn
job of
for.
walling. In terms of defense and utility, there is truly no Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet better than Screamtail.
Cap.
With our good friend OG Albina taking the season off to play VGC,
Wait,
Crocodile actually
OG
finds itself
Albina
on the
mentioned?
board in the realistic
He said we could draft
He
Crook in
had
a
an
normal
idea as
round because
well,
Owen's
but
not
most
playing.
draft league, and Owen has
D.Rey.
won the last 2 leagues he has used it in. Maybe Crocodile is a draft league YouTuber's game changer. Who knows? Regardless,
Dude, that guy's raw. 100%. Crook is the greatest Pokemon of all time.
To counter our Tornadus Therian.
I have an emote being made right now that got commissioned, and it's Crook with his like glasses from the sun, from the anime.
Yeah.
And he's like crossing his arms, and he's got fucking 2 rings on his finger, and it just goes.
Looking like this
Nice.
is gonna have a pretty similar issue. Superior is there to help solve
He clicks
it,
donuts in the
while
Chi-Yu for the
also
clip.
boasting
That's
a
fire.
variety of utility moves like
Goat.
glare and screens to enable our offensive Pokemon.
Ooh,
Common
Terra Crook
criticism
sounds
of
sick,
Superior is its
Fergie. That actually sounds
limited
cool.
Putting it nicely.
I mean, you've seen
But for 8 points,
Terra
it's hard to deny
Crocorock
what it
in,
can do in
or
terms
like
of breaking
whatever it is, the
water
baby
types,
form,
with least on the
Sandile,
contrary.
in some
Having
LC
access to
stuff.
multiple win
It's
conditions
always
is
Oh,
just
really?
wins the game.
I guess that makes sense, right? That guy also seems broken.
Terra
I'm a big
Dragon, Scale
Sandile guy
Shot.
in Little Cup
Yeah.
too.
Volcarona is my favorite pick for this role, as Quiberdan sets usually require a lot of prep
Volcarona in
to prevent them from
2025?
taking over the
He's
game.
gonna
Keegan
fire.
is the
I
only
struggled to gauge
believer.
impact in Scarlet and Violet
I mean, the
drafts
price
until
has
its
dropped
ban
enough where I think it's probably
mechanic,
worth drafting at
but
this
it was a
point.
great inclusion on my team last season, showing that even without the additional coverage and the ability to remove the often poor bug and fire typing, it can still be a dominant threat in the current metagame. Scarlet and Violet Draft League is known for having plenty
Fire,
of
water,
variants and
grass.
Mickey strats, if you will.
Yippee!
Sableye for 5 points is a clean way to help
Sableye
manage
is cool.
those, with Prankster giving access
That's
to
my
fast
guy.
Will-O-Wisp and other utility moves.
Boots
Being a
Merchant,
ghost type
yeah,
as
but
well is
like,
super important. Outside of the
that's
obvious
fine.
fighting immunity, gives us a Pokemon to block Rapid Spin, allowing us to keep our
Double
entry hazard set
Dark.
by Samurai
No.
Hisui on the field as much as possible.
chat, is
Gyarados
this
a
dark
final
spam?
pick in the draft, utilizing the Pokemon that can help shore up some
Another
defensive
Mon that
matchups
Keegan
with
thinks
high
is the
level too.
greatest of all
It can
time.
also be a Dragonade sweeper.
Regular
as we showed it
Gyarados.
running GBU
Yep.
a couple years back, but without Terra, that's going to be pretty difficult to actually pull off. But above all else, we need to get back to our first pick of Tornadus Therian. Why is it going to be different this time around? That answer is Terra. Draft League in Scarlet and Violet is currently played with teams selecting a number of
Folks,
Terra
you ever
captains,
terrestrially
which can
in
beat
math
any
class?
Terra type in battle.
All the
catch,
time.
the
That's why I'm not allowed in math
before
class
the
anymore.
single
Yeah,
battle.
you got kicked out.
How does this fix Tornadus Therian's issue?
That's why I don't know what an
It does
integer
two
is.
things. Give it access to reliable flying coverage and the ability
No
to break
removal, no
neutral walls
poison.
that might otherwise
That is
Yeah,
rough,
dude.
yeah.
In a perfect
Dude,
world,
where's his
Tornadus
fast
Therian
electric
would
type
be
to volt switch, man?
using coverage to take advantage of your opponent's team.
Oh, dude, Umbreon's
Playing
broken.
a
He
matchup
ate
with a
that shit.
flying type is going to
He
be
did.
overwhelming offensively, and being able to run Nasty Plot and Terra Blast flying to have no risk of missing is a massive level up for the consistency of this Pokemon. Then there is the other benefit of Terra, unlocking the rest of the potential that Tornadus Therian has, which is getting access to any type you could need coverage for. Running into Unaware Clefable, Terra Poison or Steel could help break through after some hazards damage. Someone pick up one of those frustrating low tier electric types that just somehow magically wall Tornadus Therian? Terra Ground. Almost every flaw that offensive Tornadus Therian has can be solved by Terra, and with a great team around it, we should certainly see it thrive in the way it was meant to in Pokemon Draft League. With our team set, it's time to get back to work on what will hopefully be meant to
Okay.
in Pokemon
So
Draft
this is
League.
the team, right?
I
do we
like
think
that
about
torn
this?
screenshot. You got games on your phone.
So true. But yeah, that's a good thing to mention. No removal, no poison. That being said, Keegan loves boots. Like, he's by far
He's
the
a
biggest
big
boots
I
user
don't give
I've
a
ever
fuck about
seen.
removal guy.
Yeah.
He'll never draft removal.
Mhm. If he drafts it, it's on accident, right? But
Spit F bulk up Terra Electric Zarude 6-0s. Be careful. Dude, me when Zarude 6-0s.
the thing is, we
Take
are
a shot every time Zarude has a good matchup.
very ground weak, I think.
Yes.
Like, Torn has to stay flying.
Arjuna Terra. Mm-hmm.
Like, Gyarados as your main answer does not
Gotcha.
feel fantastic, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
mean,
I like
Screamtail,
the
Crook
idea between
can.
like knock spam and hazard spam, plus like
Mm-hmm.
offensive guys like Torn and Arch, and I think Screamtail kind of holds the team together in the sense of like a lot of these mons that Keegan is going to be weak to, Screamtail just kind of checks naturally because he's broken.
I think colors-wise as well, this is like elite, right? The sprites are also nice.
He has this cool Pokemon. There's no
Yeah.
not cool Pokemon on his team.
I know.
Every Pokemon is
It's so
sick.
fire.
I think this is a certified playoff contender. There are
think-
definitely
yeah.
defensive holes, but
Yeah, there's definitely some stuff that like could be really annoying. Like
his only fair is just his Volcarona, by the way, too. That's another big one.
like
with
if we
triple dark.
just stack spikes, T spikes, and just bring a few knockoffs, I think like he'll go down pretty quick.
Keegan's own playstyle for this team going against him, knock spam plus hazards.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think playoff
Like, they can do that too.
For sure. All right,
Having
stream.
said-
I have to bid adieu. I need a shower for work and jump off. Have a good one. I'll probably jump in chat before I start working.
Without me?
Bye.
Okay, see ya. Thanks for joining.
Everybody drop a dislike on the stream. Thank you.
No, like the stream. You have to like it. Disliking is bad. Anyways, we're gonna put Keegan right here as a playoff contender. And, yeah, so what's up next? Alright, we have DDubble. Alright. And we're starting out strong. The Gren is on the screen. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Oh my god,
back.
he's
My
right
name's
there.
DDubble, but you can just call me Dell. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to present to you.
You got that hat.
BBR Draft.
He's got a
analysis
video call
of
for
your
Owen.
PC Leos. Before we get the video started,
That's
if you guys
crazy.
haven't already, please show some love. Click subscribe down below. Check out the coaches in the description down below, and let's jump on into it.
Yes.
We're gonna keep it short and sweet. Started off really strong. Finally getting to use Gren. Greninja is one of those Pokemon where in draft you always think about, wow, Gren's so good, I really want to use Gren, and then it never makes it back to you. So I decided this time I'm gonna get it one way or the other. I really want to use Gren.
Is the next pick
the
Deoxys speed?
Scoop Gren up round 1. The extremely fast special attacker.
Old Town Road music video. That's a
Some
throwback.
degree, you know, Shadow Sneak, low kick, things like that, kicking around.
Gren is fun. I really love Gren.
Is such
Specifically as a Terra
great,
user.
great
I
utility
think regular
Pokemon.
Gren,
It comes
he's still
basic
good,
every
but
single
like
week.
if I'm drafting Gren, it's as a
You
Terra
know,
guy
there's
this
very
gen.
few speed matchups that beat it. Things like Iron Bundle, you know, the Electrodes of the world, things like that.
Did you say Electrode?
Just overall, a phenomenal Pokemon, whether I be running Protean, Battle Bond, or like a random Torrent if I want it one week. I think Gren is going to fit into this team extremely well. And I'm
The streets say regular Gren is worse than Weavile. That's what the streets be saying. I think the streets might be waffling though.
Wanted to get a very good
Okay,
defensive
Zapdos.
pivot piece that pairs
Right.
relatively well.
And my thing about Zapdos is you have to be really prepared for Terra Electric Pokemon, because Terra Electric is always going to be a free setup in front of Zapdos, so you need a plan for that sort of thing. Let's see if he actually has like a plan for that sort of stuff, like something that can really take advantage of Terra Electric Pokemon.
Rough Skin and avoiding that with U-turn from something like a Garchomp. You know, so you click Baton Pass. You're bringing Volt Switch because they don't have a ground type. Strong electric stab, you know, with Thunderbolt, Thunder.
Why does he sound so tired?
The only downside,
Like he's about to fall
realistically,
asleep.
is having to hit Hurricanes. But you know us in hitting moves. We never miss. I've never missed in my life. So I think that might be the only thing I'm not super stoked about with Zapdos. But
Is Petaviary Endure Torrent Gren broken? I've seen it sweep before, I'm not gonna lie.
Wonder policy, things like that, and have a really good time with the Pokemon.
It's like effectively
Really, really excited to
2.25x
use
as
Zapdos.
strong.
Been really enjoying using Zapdos in things like VGC and things like the OU ladder. So yeah, I think I'm really excited to get to use it finally in Draft League. I've been wanting to have this kind of team for so long, so definitely a.
He's never missed. He
pick
just hasn't
of,
played enough with it, I think.
Not necessarily necessity, but definitely want to use, which is exciting. You really want to be playing with mons that you want to use. So yeah. Round 3 came back.
Terra
and
Luna.
I saw a big old bear
Yup.
Luna sitting.
This
on
guy's
the
actually really
board and
good.
Had to grab it. Ursa Luna, objectively one of the best, if not the best, wall breaker in draft.
The
Humongous
best wall
attack
breaker?
stat,
I think
gut
it's up
boost,
there, but I don't know about
random
best.
bulk up bulletproof sets that you can bring to help beat certain Pokemon are phenomenal as well. I think Luna offers a ton.
You have Terra Ursa Luna in a league,
flexibility for my
has
team.
possibly the best
Very
matchup I've ever
movable.
seen.
It is
I mean,
also going to be
the thing
fun
about
to
Ursa
break
Luna
out,
is
which
it
really
does
exciting.
kill everything,
You know, you
but
can
it
do
is
things like Terra
slow.
Steel, you can
So
bring
either
things
you need
like
Trick Room
Terra
support
Ghost to avoid
or
those fighting moves that wanna revenge you,
or you're just gonna get like one or
Wider
two
if you
kills,
worry
and
about, like,
they're
player
gonna
events by
wear it
ice
down.
stuff like that. So
Underrated Terra
fun
Captain for
options
sure.
with defensive typings
I think this
give
thing
us
is
the opportunity
definitely
to do setups
really
for
solid. We saw it
Force
in
Dance or one of
BBL
those
with
things like that,
Viz.
so
He did really well with
very
it.
excited to get to use Ursaluna.
Draft League World Cup.
Obviously, at this point, I know
The first
I need
one
to be using
we
Luna
saw. I think it was
offensively.
Spees use
The
it
best
to
way
really
to
good
kind of
success.
set
Wait,
that
Slow
up
King. So this is the Trick Room setter. So Trick Room, Chili
started
Reception,
thinking about that as
into your
draft developed
Ursaluna.
here.
W.
Okay, don't
Need that
really have a
Tailwind
bulky
support? What is
water.
this, VGC?
And
Running some
think I
Tail
really
Room?
would want that because Greninja just doesn't fill that role. So I saw
Luna's so
Slowking
fat
on
if you
the
turn
board,
in
and I'm like,
neutral
"Hey,
hits
I'm gonna
too.
grab Slowking."
Yeah, like physical
And then
bulk
with
wise,
grabbing
it's very
Slowking,
fat, but special bulk,
it
it's
goes
like
hand in hand
it
with
can
my
usually
next
live
pick, which is
one
Kyurem,
hit,
as you can see.
but
So,
definitely not two.
Slowking
Oh.
for Chili Reception, Trick Room offers
The Mon went
us
away.
two very great pieces into getting our offense into
Punishes
positions
Terra Electric.
to
It does, yeah.
actually
It
do
really
stuff,
does.
whether that be Kyurem offensively with Chili Reception or the Trick Room option for Ursaluna with Trick Room. Both of these moves make
Ursaluna Terra Ice for the double
useful to
defense.
me, at least on this
I don't know
team.
about that. Ice is a very bad
Access to
defensive
Yawn,
typing.
Scald, Future Sight, things like that. Give it.
And you
that,
don't really want to
you
run
know,
boots on it, so you'll be
great
taking 25
secondary
from
aspect
Stealth
of,
Rock.
okay, I may
That's
not
annoying
click
for
the
sure.
move to set up right
Usually
now,
you're just going to
but I
see
will
like
punish you
either
if you
Terra
set
Normal
some
on an
into
offensive
me.
set or like Terra Ghost on
Scald
a
is
fatter set.
really good
Maybe
if
Terra
you ever get
Fairy,
a burn. I don't think I have
some
a
other
Scald
like
burn.
Terra Poison. But
This generation,
never really going
I'm
to see
not
Terra
gonna
Ice
lie,
on this
I
thing.
have not seen Scald burn. I think you can go back into almost all of my battles and you will not see me click Scald and actually get the burn. So
He's saying the water is cold.
Maybe I'm just unlucky. Maybe I'm clicking in a bunch of covert cloaks. Who knows?
Terra
But
Water, yeah, like those
Slowking,
standard
our
defensive
pick
Terra
number 4,
options.
and like I've already kind of spoiled, pick number 5 was Kyurem for us. The Chili Reception
There's
that
a Rude
Slowking
Feast.
offers is just
I mean,
phenomenal. To
Big Kyurem
allow
is here
it
to save the day, right?
You know, come in, have that
I mean,
defense
Kyurem doesn't
boost,
exactly
especially if I'm a boots
1v1
variant,
Zarud
worry
either,
about Stealth Rocks,
to be honest.
which for my team, I will say, hazards.
Yeah, Rock Speaks
always
slower,
be
Mammoth
an
Swine.
issue. It does suck, but Boots is coming on most things. I can run Boots Slowking, I can run Boots Kyurem, Boots Zapdos. Not really have to worry about stuff. Counter set spikes, counter set rocks, things like that. So definitely going to take a more offensive approach to hazard
Why hello
removal and
there.
hazard mitigation.
Is that
this
Obi-Wan in my
season.
chat?
So Kyurem isn't going to be super punished in that aspect. Kyurem being a mixed attacker, being able to hit on both sides, extremely strong.
Yeah,
Scale
Kyurem
Shot
is very
stats,
versatile.
Choice Scarfs,
That's
Choice
a great
Specs,
thing for it.
You know, dropping Dracos into teams.
Obi-Wan,
Kyurem's gonna
yep.
be a really good piece. for
Not to be
me, and
confused with
just another
OB3.
quick button Pokemon, which you need this generation. You just really want to come out with that really strong offense. And I think he gives me a really strong special breaker. So I'm very
It does
excited
do
to have
that, yeah.
him on the team. After that, I was taking a look at the board and I was like, okay, I really need rocks. Don't have rocks yet.
Alright, Fairy Resist. Where we at?
And then
So far, the
I
Fairy
really
Resist
wanted
is
more,
Slowking,
pivoting
and that's
options
not
because you
really
wanna be able to
enough.
get your Ursaluna and you want to be able to get your Kyurem.
So getting a Steel type that doesn't
or
resist
Volswitcher
Fairy,
or
maybe a
U-turn.
little bit
I saw
questionable, right?
Cobalion on the board, and I really enjoy
That being
using
said, Cobalion, the
This
Iron
is a
Defense
Pokemon
body press sets
that
are
I've
really
used
strong.
multiple
Like,
times in
base
Gen
what,
6 draft,
129
Gen 7
defense, if I
draft,
remember correctly?
things like
It's
that,
like, it hits
and I had
hard.
a ton of fun using it.
Can
so
get
I really,
rocks up.
really wanted to go back to the well there. It also technically counts as our mascot pick, as it is Cobalion and the BC Leo. So, you know, kind of works.
Muck
kinda
moment.
works right there.
Is it Muck Monday, folks?
So yeah, Cobalion mainly for the rocks aspects of things. Justified is also really fun with the Slowking.
This team is raw until you use
There's a
Terra
lot of
Fairy.
games
That's
where I'm
actually
gonna
so
be
true,
bringing
yeah.
Rock into my Slowking pretty consistently. Being able to switch Cobalion in 108 speed is a really fun speed tier because you outspeed most of the meta. But he's also
Cobalamid.
bulky enough on the defensive and SpDef side that it can take at least a hit.
I mean, there is some cool
from a
stuff
Dark
with
Egg,
this, like, you could
know,
run
fire
Paraspam,
really-
plus like a
really
faster
strong
Luna,
boosted
or like
close
Specs
combat,
Kyurem,
high head,
stuff
things
like that.
So
There's definitely
I
some
like
stuff you could do
Cobalion
here.
with
T-Wave
Slowking, I like
Cobalion,
the
T-Wave
rocks, I like the
Slowking,
Volt Switch.
Discharge Static
That's why Cobalions on the
Zapdos, you know? And Mimikyu, interesting, right?
Yes, if you recall, this thing is Satan's spawn. I am giving it another try because it pairs well.
What's he
with
waffling about?
Ursaluna. It's a very good Trick Room setter. It's good to have an oh shit button, especially if you're me. Sometimes you need the oh shit button.
Basically, Samazenta view
Hold breaker
squint.
Pokemon are gonna come consistently. I understand that. That's okay.
Viz team, yeah, like
just need
this
to
combination
remember
is from the Viz
to
team.
put
Probably inspired,
more
right?
free moves on them on. Have legitimate conversations about it hitting moves, and not talk myself into a corner with this being my only fairy type. That being said, dear God help me if Mimikyu misses another play rough.
He's so unhappy with this Pokemon. Is Mimikyu his toxic X?
Yep.
He just keeps getting back together.
Number 8, round 8.
It's a fairy
second to last
resist,
pick.
but
Eye
it
Snag,
doesn't beat the
Wheezing.
fairy
This
types, you
was
know?
a great option for me. I wanted another fighting resist. The team's not inherently fighting weak because I do have Slowking and the Mimikyu and the Zapdos. However, Cobalion, Kyurem, Ursaluna, Gren.
It's really not a
all of
Moonblast
those
resist,
things
yeah.
being, taking super effective fighting moves,
Yeah, this
isn't
seems like
great.
really weak to
Obviously,
Val
Luna
at
can
the
get rid of
moment.
it,
Enamorous.
Ninja can get rid of it, but you don't want someone to feel confident clicking fighting moves into you. So I grabbed Weezing. I think Weezing's a really fun Pokemon in draft. Obviously, G-Weezing's a little bit better, but neutralizing gas
Specs
is
Fez
such a
cooks this
fun,
team week
amazing
1.
ability that
I
can get rid
mean,
of
low
so many
key.
problems,
Low key though.
on the other side of the field. Alongside Levitation,
Maybe I might run
getting rid of
Calm Mind on it.
weaknesses. So
With like
Cobalion,
T-Spikes
once
up,
again, doesn't really have to
maybe?
worry about it. If I bring like Terra Steel or Saluna, doesn't have to worry about it.
I guess Fez
Things
team
like
probably
that.
doesn't have
It
T-Spikes,
pairs
but
overall really well with the rest of the team. Will-O-Wisp option, finally having that aspect outside of Mimikyu. So getting 2 Will-O-Whispers back to back, Clear Smog, Haze,
his
getting
abilities,
rid
the
of these
T-Spikes, it's all good.
boosts,
I'm saying
also
like the
extremely
only
strong.
resists
So
really
Weezing, I think, fits
to that
super,
kind of
super
Fez
well in
would
this
be
8
like
slot. And
maybe
then
the Cobalion,
for
maybe the
the
Luna
9th
can
slot,
trade,
we had a
but
little
with
bit of
T-Spikes
fun.
up, you wear down the Luna
We
pretty
grabbed
quickly.
Arboliva playing more into this Trick Room aspect of things. I really wanted another
Chat, are we
solid Earthquake
Arboliva or are we
I didn't want teams to
Arboliva?
feel like they could
What do we
bring,
think?
grass type spam
It's
into
one or
it
the
'cause you
other.
have Gren
No
and
fence sitters.
Slowking and Luna. So the combination of Cobalion and Arboliva. Obviously Kyurem's there, but you don't want to have to run Kyurem defensively.
Thank you,
So
JRicky.
Cobalion, Weezing, Arboliva
Very
really
helpful.
helps take away a lot of that grass potency.
I'm a
which
believer.
I'm hoping I don't
Yup.
really have to deal with too much. A little bit of a spoiler, we do end up playing JRicky week 1, and JRicky has Terra Zarude.
Yep.
So I think our hardest matchup will probably be week 1, and then from there it'll get a lot easier.
You switch sides,
We got
Jamarcus?
the grass type with dark type moves.
I get
and
it.
That could change its type, and that's what do you do, man? Like it could be a lot of different things. So
It can be
yeah,
so
it's
many
gonna be an
different things, so
interesting
true.
battle there. Arboliva, though, I think is a really nice option. Gives me more terrain as well. So if we want to bring like Grassy Seed on a Seed Sword set, fun with Trick Room.
Yo, JRicky, I think your cat stepped on your keyboard.
Things like that. Hyper Voice or Throat Spray. So I think Arboliva at 9 was a fun little pickup for me. And then we had 1 point remaining, and I almost took Wugtrio. I almost took Wiglet.
Wiglet.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I haven't taken the crab.
The
In
crab.
a long time. So
The goat.
I grabbed up Crabominable. Crabominable, one of my favorite
This is another
Pokemon
like Trick Room mode kind
ever.
of abuser.
I think his design's awesome. I think his move pool's awesome.
Okay. What do we think about this team, right? There's like a really strong Trick Room mode here, like Slowking and Mimikyu to set, Ursaluna and Crabominable to take advantage. And then like you have a Battle Bond Gren to like clean up at the end after the Trick Room goes down. Like there's some offensive lines here that work. There's also like Paraspam plus Fast Luna. That's another option, right? Loses to Fairy. It's so weak to Fairy, man. If it's me personally, I might just be running like Terra Fairy on everything into this team. You know? It seems really free. 6 fighting weeks goes hard. Yeah, there's just defensive holes, I think. Val 6 those, yeah. Anything besides that, though? I mean, Hmm. Yeah, it's just like the defensive Pokemon are not quite good enough, I think. It's probably like stat checked a lot, and then like your best defensive Pokemon being Zapdos. I mean, any Terra Captain that wants to beat Zapdos has a very easy option to just click the Terra Electric button, and then they magically beat Zapdos 100% of the time. So there is that. Luna's like good at punishing Terra Electric, but maybe not enough to dissuade it from being brought in the first place. Like for example, if I'm bringing my Keldeo versus this team, I might just be Terra Electric anyways, because I kill the Luna with like Surf or whatever, or Secret Sword, whichever. I feel like you could prevent Slowking from Trick Room or Chillying. It was easy to contain. A lot of it seems like taunt bait, right? Slowking can get taunted. Zapdos gets taunted, kind of. I mean, that one's a little bit scary if you're not an electric type. Cobalion gets taunted pretty easily. Mimikyu taunted. Weezing taunted. There's a lot of taunt bait on this team. So I feel like we were saying earlier with JRicky's team, a lot of it forces different prep. A lot of this is overlapped, right? You can prep for a lot of Pokemon with one move slot. This team needs a great Tusk, so true. Unfortunately, we can't all have what we want. But yeah, I think it's just a little bit, a lot of these Pokemon are weak to the same things, which makes it a lot easier to prep for than some of the other teams. So I think this one, well, I do see some like options here. Like I said, the Paraspam into like a faster Ursaluna, Specs Curum, that sort of thing. There's also the really strong Trick Room mode. Like there's definitely options for him, and I feel like Mimikyu might have a little bit more on its plate than it would like. Worse than A12 team, not gonna lie. It might just be, but I think it's, for me personally, I think it's a little bit better. Let's see. Which one is he? This one. We might have to bring A12 up to middle of the pack. I was kind of on the fence there. But these feel pretty similar power level. I think they're both better than the more so like theme teams, right? The Stall and then the Mono Hisui. So I feel like maybe middle of the pack. It's better than those guys at least. So am I right in saying that? Like there's definitely some offensive lines here. I like it. We need some music. I mean, I don't want to have music going while I'm watching these in the background as well. It would just overlap with the videos while I'm watching them. You're watching videos, yeah. Like we just finished watching this.
I think with Trick Room.
Yeah, like you said, Trick Room modes. I think Kyurem can always cheese any matchup. Gren is really great as an endgame cleaner. I think this is totally fine to be middle of the pack. Right here, probably above A12s, if I'm being real. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that right now. Now let's move on. So now we have Aimel, the defending champion. Right, let's take a look.
Hello, everybody.
What's up with the quality here? It's just 480p.
Aimel. We are back once again.
Unfortunately, I cannot make it higher quality. This is just what we have.
Yeah, it's another time for me.
Middle, but lean too hard in Trick Room. Yeah, probably.
And record the draft analysis. You can. It's not even been that long since the last day. It was BBL. It finished not even that long ago.
Yeah, BBL finished like what, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
And
1 week ago, maybe. I don't even know. It was very soon. Terachi is a top 5 draft mon fun-wise for me. Number 3 kill leader. It's definitely underrated at the moment. I feel like Terachi, it's so hard to
And
switch into.
but
That being
these
said, it
guys
can be
know
offensively
how
checked.
these video
So,
works.
yeah,
I just
it's
go
not
over
like
every Pokemon that I
Thanos,
went.
but it's like it's still like one of the best wall breakers in the
or
tier, just
anything.
raw power
We know
wise.
how it work. I
And I
always
think the
also
natural
take
special
a
bulk
lot
on it
of
is really
time on
good.
these when they're usually very short, so I'll try to make things a little bit faster. So, alright, let's not
Which
wait
mon is
further ado.
Thanos?
You guys can see the first pick
Um,
that I had. I guess
Probably like
I
Raging
could
Bolt if I'm
say
being
that,
honest.
well, what was the position
Raging
draft
Bolt
like?
with like specs or booster
Yeah,
special
I guess
attack.
because we're
So
not
good at
here
claiming
to
claiming
claim the
mons.
title. This time we're here to defend it because we won the previous season of BBR. That's right. And our privilege was that we had like a better chances on
Might
the
be
wheel
spitting.
to be in the later pick, aka in the
Max
first
Spitef, Calm,
Google
AV,
pick.
Terra Flying is
I
crazy.
did not get this good fate. I think I finished like 10th or 12th or something. Like I know I did not get that good of a place, but that's okay. So as you can see, because I didn't put something over it to start it off,
You want to
my
the
first
game?
pick
I
ended up
mean,
being
he's got that bulk
Chi-Yu
arm.
or Christopher Youssef or whoever
True,
big
Zarud
content
might just be
creator calls it,
Thanos.
but it's Chi-Yu. A Pokemon that, despite being, banned from OU since the beginning of Gen 9, hasn't been the most dominant Gen 9 threat in draft. The best I was able to see out of it was always a one kill quota Pokemon, which of course is good to have a Pokemon that is more than likely to get at least one kill per game. But, it's banned from OU. It's supposed to be very strong, and it's like alright in draft. Of course, I never got to use Chi-Yu before, so I decided that I will use it this time. But not just your run-of-the-mill Chi-Yu.
Got Terra.
Because if you could see on the little icon on the bottom
Yeah,
left,
got that star.
if you can see actually, and if not, then let just tell you that this is in fact the Terra Captain Chi-Yu.
I agree, Burger.
Yeah, the Terra rules are similar for what has been the case recently. That my Chi-Yu can now terrasize into any type that it wants per game, but I need to tell my Terra type is before
It is
the
Terra
match can begin.
preview. So like when you're in the lobby, you have to tell your opponent what Terra type you're bringing.
Terra Fire because of your meme,
But it's like right
putting
before
a
the game.
calc of choice based Chi-Yu into some with Terra Fire, like your argument is invalid or something. But I want to explore every possibilities with Chi-Yu that I could this season. So yeah, we'll see.
So
if
how
I'll
are
be
we
able to
supporting the
really make
Chi-Yu?
Chi-Yu work,
Usually you want to see
or
like Volt Turn.
a curse of not doing that great anyway, despite being a Terra Captain.
What else here? Good
Okay.
removal. That's something that
So,
is pretty useful on Chi-Yu
With
teams.
Chi-Yu being my first pick, it reminded me of my first pick in the previous season with Darkrai, which was a special attacking Dark type with Dark Pulse. Because something I really
Spectre if you're Mountay. So
like
true.
this gen.
Ting Lu
Dark
here.
types
Yeah,
are good.
Ting Lu would work.
Like really
But
good.
I don't think Ting Lu was
Especially
lasting
those that can use
that long.
stam knockoff. So when I had Darkrai last season, I was missing
Good
out on a
knockers are
little
nice for
something.
Chi-Yu. I mean, who doesn't love a
Considering
good
that I have
a good
Chi-Yu
knocker?
right now, and it's Terra Chi-Yu, I wanted to have a quote-unquote real dark type. I mean, Chi-Yu is of course a real dark type.
Charizard's a ruin
I mean,
team.
as a type.
I mean, Qian Pao is banned
a
unfortunately.
dark type
But you just get a
that uses
Weavile in that
knockoff.
slot.
So
I love
picked
good
Roaring
knockers.
Moon.
You and me both,
Another
JRicky.
Pokemon that doesn't
Alright, so he's going for the
seem
dark spam
like
angle,
that
which is
broken
like
in
definitely,
draft, but for
I
me,
mean,
that's a different story.
some might
I
call
like
it meta.
Roaring Moon. I think it is very, very strong.
hmm
And yeah, that's basically the main
Wow,
reason I
that's a
love it.
good
It's strong
knocker.
knockoff user. It has
It's probably
great
one of the
speed
best,
tier,
right?
Very, very
Sun team
fast.
moment?
I guess
Maybe.
the one
You could
thing
definitely do a
that
sun angle with
people,
this. Like a Ninetales
this type of moves that
with Healing
doesn't seem
Wish.
to do that much damage just
And then what
despite
else?
having a high attack, but that's because
I mean, sun
its
teams
moves
really
are
do
not
want
like
Great
a very
Tusk.
high base
I'm not
or
gonna
like,
lie.
of course you have knockoff, which is the best move that it has. Otherwise, it's like earthquake or like itemless acro, not itemless, but booster energy acro. But beside that, I like Roaring Moon. I hope
I could see a
with that
Hatterene
Chi-Yu,
on
I'll
here.
be able to show that it is in fact very,
Magic bounce
very
for the
good.
the
That is
Chi-Yu.
good. Okay.
And there's the Pecharunt.
Alright.
His signature
Remember when I
mon.
had Gengar in BBL? I did a joke of like, oh, I wanted a ghost Mosai poison type. If only I could get something for both. Like trying to lead into Pecharunt, but then it was actually Gengar. but then when playing in BBL, I kind of tried of making Gengar a Pecharon impression, so I think in the end I should have drafted Pecharon all along.
Yeah, Petron is actually so good.
Versus Choco with like
What would his ground resist be? It's Pecharunt.
I also used it in BBR last season. Yeah, I don't want to.
Does this need to go round 3? I mean, it's a 16-man pool. It might not have made it back.
But this is by far my best performing.
It's a reasonable pickup.
So basically, if I want to win, I'm gonna use what's best for me, and Pecharunt is my best Pokemon, so I'm gonna use Pecharunt.
He does use it very well. This is true.
But aside that, you know, it gives a fairy resistance, a very high defense Pokemon, and yeah, it's Pecharunt. We all know what it does. We all know it's very, very solid. All right, next. I then went with Tinkaton. Remember when I said that knockoff is good? Well, I decided to get Tinkaton because it's very good.
Yeah, JRicky, exactly what I'm saying.
Because it resists it.
Okay, this is a lot of ground weeks though. We're gonna have to patch this up pretty soon.
Item, then okay, I steal your item. Then it's as if you use knockoff on yourself. I guess it's also a Pokemon that kinda is not that.
A lot of knockers. You're right.
Of course, I don't say that.
Some might call it a pair of knockers.
Anything, but you know, it has a move with 160 base power, but it's not that strong because Tinkaton has base 75 attack. But its support move pool is still great. You know, like Stealth Rock, Down Wave, Encore. It's a good utility Pokemon. So I'm drafting it because again, for what I just said about knockoff, it's good at absorbing knockoff. Like for a team, like I don't want to use my item on Chiyu. I guess Rolling Moon is fine because if I go for boost energy.
So I like the combination of Pecharunt plus Tinkaton. I think a lot of teams like to draft Tinkaton as the everything resist, but having Pecharunt to take a little bit of pressure off of it is really nice.
Not for any reason in particular. I know it's just, you know, just a good Pokemon to round out the team. A water type that is solid all around. You know, it can be what you want. It could be a utility pivot, or it can be just set up with Tail Glue or Take Heart. I don't have to worry about Take Heart being banned.
He just said he likes Manaphy, that's why he drafted it.
Type, like, you know,
respect.
Not just your standard water move with Ice Beam, but Energy Ball, Psychic, Alluring Voice.
The thing is, like Manaphy, the main draw to it is that Tail Glow set. And in terms of like breakers, you kind of already have that kind of covered with Chiyu.
Next.
Then P2, what are we cooking here?
This is my second Terra Captain of the draft.
Terra P2. I mean, offensive P2 is like not that bad, I feel like. Manaphy is water type Chiyu, but you have to take a turn to Tail Glow first before hitting things.
Gets higher. The reason why we were able to get more than one Terra Captain is
two of the best Meow checks in the game, Petch and Tinkaton. Yeah, Pecharunt famously able to take 2 choice banded knockoffs, which is ridiculous, but it can do that.
But it's its own budget. It's 28 points total. Chiyu moved from 16 to 18 with Terra, and P2 moved from 6 to 8. So
it does hit hard. Yeah, with download.
So 18 plus
download analytic too.
26 point use.
Got some nice multipliers on there.
I could get a third Terra Captain, but that would be something very low tier, like very, very low tier, like bottom.
Forces Dark Pulse Meow.
It's not the case.
Does it?
Have 2 Terra Captains.
Does it?
In Chiyu and Porygon 2,
I feel like I'd rather just spike up and then U-turn after.
I mean, at that point, I already have 2 great Pokemon with Terra. I don't need a third one that will be.
Like, are you running Dark Pulse Meow into Tinkaton as well? Like, be so for real with me right now.
But yeah, Porygon 2 is very tanky. It lost its like third pull from Legend, which sucks a little bit, but I thought it could be great.
Very Hazards Week. Yeah, I agree. I'm
Pokemon
waiting for the removal.
Better with Terra, yes, but can also work without it. Like Chiyu is still very strong on its own.
Can't win them all. Yeah.
Typing nonetheless, and again, P2 is very bulky and lacks a lot of
Dark Pulse Chien Pao into Pecharunt. That's insane.
I think it's a good thing they also went with it because I also have Tinkaton, like I said previously about the knockoff dilemma.
I mean, you can run bulky Manaphy sets, but I mean, at that point, draft any other water type. They can also do those sort of things.
That can do damage or pivot out. Yeah, I really want to see what I can do with the Terra Porygon 2, because that's one of the Pokemon I wanted to try with Terra. So glad I got
You
it.
just wanted it.
7 months. I was trying to think.
This is a doubles team.
And the Axis Defense, like they both offered some.
It's just a
really
doubles
good
team, bro.
stuff. I went with
P2,
Cresselia
Cress.
at the end because the main one being, of course, Lunar Dance, because Lunar Dance is, I mean, it and Healing Wish are a very, very powerful move.
It is just worse aloe,
I
yeah.
would say I could see reason of Lunar Dance being inferior to Healing Wish, because Lunar Dance also restore PP.
P2 at 8 feels
which
excessive.
could be a good thing
Well, the
for
reason
some
it's
Pokemon
8
that
points
runs
is because
slow
it has
PP
Terra,
moves.
and there's a Terra
It could also
tax
be
in this
bad
league.
because if
So
you
he's paying
try,
more points
like, to pass
because
the,
it's Terra
well, the
eligible.
Healing Wish to
That
a
makes
Pokemon,
sense.
but you have to go into something else first. But that something else is at full HP.
Yeah, yeah.
And also not status.
Yeah, you would have an
You
Ursaluna
won't
here.
get the Healing Wish at least. But
It's
if
like
it's Lunar Dance, and even though if that Pokemon
the
is at full
P2
HP,
Ursaluna
not
Goldango
status,
teams
if that
from
Pokemon
like
is
last
used at even
regulation,
one
they
move,
like won a
you
bunch
will
of stuff,
receive
right?
the Lunar
Top cut a
Dance.
lot.
This is like, I would say, the one drawback of Cresselia.
I'm about to see Yard Crest at home.
It
So
could be
true.
used way more sooner than you will want to. But beside that, I still went with it because it's, again, very tanky, can be good at disrupt. It's just a good support, like very hard to remove.
They have insane synergy, they do, yeah.
Everything also offers a ground immunity, which was something I was very, very lacking on the team. So yeah.
Yeah, ground
Very annoying
immunity
to
makes
remove,
sense.
That's why I went for it. Simple as that. Okay, now a real ground immunity outside of Levitate. I go with Galarian Zapdos.
Galarian
because
Zapdos, another breaker at
alongside
100
Dark
base
type being
speed.
broken with stab knockoff, I think fighting type are very strong as well with stab close combat.
Yeah,
And
it's a
Zapdos
strong
is great, but
Pokemon.
it's also
He's
strong
right.
Flying type, and fighting plus flying are two powerful offensive type.
Mm-hmm.
It's a physical attacker. It will use Brave Bird most of the time, meaning I don't have to worry about Air Slash or Hurricane missing. Of course, it has solid speed tier. It can use knockoff itself. It has U-turn.
He lost me after
Again,
pick 3.
solid Pokemon, not-
Same, I think so.
not- Very simple to explain. That's it. Zapdos. Okay, that's the
Leavanny.
real quote-unquote bad mon I will have on this draft. Leavanny
Zapdos
isn't,
usually just kills itself.
the worst. Like, I mean,
Yeah, it
sniping is
does,
bad
but
for
it
sure,
does a
and
lot of
that's
damage in the meantime,
underwhelming.
right?
But that gave me Sticky Web, and I thought that having Sticky Web could be a powerful
I
weapon.
mean, Sticky
for
Web
stuff like, you know,
Chi-Yu, plus you
Chi-Yu
have the spin
and
block.
Manaphy.
It makes sense, right?
At base 100 is
For teams that
good,
don't have
but
defog, this is
considering we're
scary.
now easily hanging around the higher above 120, I think. Of course, there's boost as well, but I have
He
a
didn't
lot
want
of
any
Pokemon
more.
with knockoff on my team. By a lot, I mean,
Shout out to Wi-Fi Draft League players for
I
always
have-
getting a
I
shitty
have
Weber.
4 of them.
I mean,
I have, yeah, I have
here it
Boone,
makes a
I
lot
have
of sense, at
Gun,
least.
I have
Got no
Zapdos,
removal
now
either.
Leavanny.
That's true, yeah.
Plus, you have stuff like Pet Chat. I could.
Well, he has 8
maybe
points
force
left.
clear
Maybe he gets
amulets
something.
Or cover cloak potentially. And also the fact that Tinkaton also has pickpocket. Or maybe I can do something like with Trick Cresselia. But yeah, it's mainly for Sticky Web.
Alright,
That
show me some
will give me
removal here.
some, you know, some
Round
game
10.
plan if I feel I wanted to go with Sticky Web. And then last, keeping it
Nah,
simple, I wanted a ground type. There
we're
were a
gonna
few left on the
lose.
board. I settled on the right period because it's
He really
also
wanted
a
webs. He should have
partial
gotten
type.
Iraq over Mana
So
and Leavanny.
typing-wise, it's pretty
That's
strong.
true, yeah.
I know he has still sword
Arachnid would fit this team really well.
It was still fine to go with it. Plus, it's very
Blastoise
slow, but I have
still on
speed
the
to
board.
impress, so if I want to, I could always
Yeah.
go for a Trick Room angle.
No
but
Terra.
superior,
He already
very
used
strong.
his Terra points on
As long as
Chi-Yu
Pokemon
and
doesn't get hit by
P2.
water or grass move, it can take almost
He wants a
anything.
ground
Physical
type
side.
for like electric types, but grass knot is annoying for this thing.
I think I
So
want to keep it relatively short from what I usually go for. But yeah, it's a pretty simple season. We are here because we are the champion. We are here to defend our title. Of course, we didn't do the best in BBL, so we're gonna try to redeem ourselves because we were, a league champion before entering BBL. And then once BBL ended, I didn't make playoff. I need to redeem that. I have to defend the title that I won.
he wants to come back. I get it. But this team, though, I think he had a really strong start, right? Dark Spam, obviously very good right now in the current metagame. Pecharunt, fantastic Pokemon, especially when he uses it. Tinkaton, sure. Some good roll compression. I like it. But then Manaphy, P2, Crest, everything after that, it's like, you really lost me. I think you could have gone so many different directions with this like top 3, top 4 kind of thing. And like, this was not really one of the options that I had in mind, you know? Like, you could throw like Ninetales on there, get a Suncore with that Roaring Moon plus Chi-Yu. That's really scary, right? I think a Ninetales on here somewhere would have been definitely worth the pickup. Maybe like a Ninetales plus, maybe he got like the Hisui and Lilligant maybe a little bit earlier. Because I know Viz has it right now, so you can't really do free agencies for it. But you definitely could have drafted it at some point here. Even a Torkoal with spin. Yeah, like there's a lot of options you could have been. But this is like a little bit weird. I don't know. There's some cool stuff here anyways, like the sticky webs plus spin block plus Chi-Yu. Like that's already very scary. Probably is going to force a lot of boots against him. Just like that threat alone. What was he cooking? I don't think it's quite that low. Because at least the top 4 are really solid, and then like surely you can find 2 Pokemon out of the rest that are bringable in the matchup. But yeah, I think for Aimel, I'm gonna put him middle of the pack. Is he above Dell? That's the question. Where's Dell? Here's Dell. So compare these two teams. Which one's better? What kind of JRicky glaze is this? I mean, his team's good. What can I say? You like Dell's more? Definitely Aimel versus or over Dell. I'm seeing some conflicting comments in my chat. Ooh. I think Amel's is scarier. I'm gonna put Aimel above it, but it's not by a whole lot. A12 over both? I don't know about that. My Chi-Yu bias says Aimel. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Aimel here. Alright, what's up next? Oh, we got Jason, DyeItTight.
Last season of the BBR, we had our worst record in Generation 9, ending at 2-6.
No.
Playoffs. However, we are back with a vengeance to claim the BBR championship. What's going on, my fellows? It's your boy DyeItTight here, bringing you guys our draft analysis.
Why can't you see Addy's messages in chat? It's probably just because it's on top chat instead of live chat. That's on your end, right?
Make sure to comment below who your favorite Pokemon was.
You blocked him.
Now,
Goat.
Let's get started. So we ended up getting the 11th pick in the draft, which is not the best because you miss out on getting some top tier threats like Great Tusk, Iron Valiant, Terra Zarude, or even Terra Tornadus Therian. That being said, we went with the best Pokemon on the board.
Maybe you blocked each other.
With its incredible
that would be
speed
cool.
of 125, it fills a great role of our top end speed, ensuring if we ever needed to apply offensive
hey,
fast
Darkrai,
pressure, we weren't
cool.
relying on getting something in the low tier because they never end up hitting as
Darkrai,
hard
one
as
of the
we want
best
them to.
fast dark types in the format, alongside Meowscarada and Greninja.
And the ability to boost it with Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. But don't sleep on its base.
Darkrai is the GOAT. So true.
You might just be able to catch some teams off guard. Besides offense, Darkrai has some great utility with Taunt, Knockoff, Will-O-Wisp, and even Trick.
Not a fan of Darkrai personally. I think it's pretty good. I think it's probably third place behind Meow and Gren in terms of fast dark types.
Slowking Galar. This Pokemon synergizes very well with Darkrai,
It's definitely close with non-Terra Gren.
And Fairy types. Slowking Galar bolsters our special defenses with a base 110.
So G-King. So this is like the defensive glue to the team. There's a lot of Pokemon that Slowking just like completely blanks and they can't do anything to it.
It also gives us some
so good Pokemon. Weavile, no. Shout out to A12.
For round 3, we've got Quaquavalable. I'm never gonna be able to say that name right.
Instant replay on that one.
Switching out. For round 3, we've got Quaquavalable. I'm never
Quaquavalable.
gonna be able to say that name right. but I am very excited to use it.
Aquavol,
This
folks.
Pokemon seems so much fun, being able to provide much needed physical offense with its base 120 attack stat. But it also gives
He's
us
just a silly little
dangerous
guy.
setup sweeper, with it being able to Swords Dance or bulk up, and then click Aqua Step for a
Light for the
+1 speed.
party, quack,
It
wall, wall,
also can
wall,
abuse
wall.
its Moxie ability, giving it a +1 boost if it kills a Pokemon.
This Pokemon is
Next
pretty
is round
versatile,
four, and here
which is
where we
nice.
get our Terra Captain, Salamence.
Terra
Salamence
Mence.
seemed like such a great
So this
Terra
was, I think,
Captain
the
because
kill
of its
leader of
utility on
BBL.
offense and
So
defense. Like
definitely a scary
Quackle,
Pokemon.
it also has the ability
There
to
are
Moxie,
some like
but it also gets
niche
Dragon
things you
Pulse,
can do
which
against
boosts
it though,
attack
like
and speed
faster mirror
+1 at
herbs.
the same time. Defensively, it has
Really takes
Intimidate,
advantage of the
so a
DD
Terra can help
turns.
check any physical Pokemon needed.
Favorite
Overall, I
pseudo?
think
It's
Salamence
definitely a
is
cool
one of the best
Pokemon
Terra
for sure.
Captains, and I'm ready for it to dominate this season.
Ooh,
Our team at
dominate.
this point could use a disruptor, some hazards, and a dragon check. So by getting Klefki, we were able to acquire all three in round 5.
Klefki.
Now, admittedly, Klefki is not the best
He's horrible.
defensive check to things, but with its ability to punish setup with Thunder Wave and Foul
Terra
Play,
Mence is going to
we'll
make
be
a bit
able
of a
to support the
resurgence once it
team.
goes down in
Where
price a
Klefki is
bit.
going to shine
I think it
is
does
its
need to go down in
Prankster,
price a little
being able
bit,
to
but
toss
people
off the
keep
previously
drafting it,
mentioned
so
Thunder
it's hard to
Wave,
drop
getting
it
up spikes,
when people
or
keep
setup
drafting it
screens to allow
anyways.
our Moxie sweepers to set up and win.
You know?
Back to a defensive piece in round 6. We have
Klefki is raw? No,
Sinistcha,
he is not.
who helps clean up the ground weakness.
Okay,
we were
Sinistcha's
starting to
raw
breed.
though.
Sinistcha is the perfect Pokemon to
It's
annoy
like probably the
offense with
second
moves like
best
Magic
spin
Gotcha that
blocker
has a
behind
chance to burn,
Pecharunt,
and
in my
Strength Sap
opinion.
to heal back its health while lowering the opposing Pokemon's attack. In the right matchup, it can even calm mind and plow through teams on its own. In round 7,
can.
we have a
He's
familiar
right.
face in Mamoswine.
Mamoswine in 2025?
So Mamo was the
Yeah, it
best
is a
one
shame
around.
it's not
It provides
Terrasinus.
some extra
They just
offensive
can't
pressure
afford
with
it.
its ability to have the best offensive type combo of ice and ground, making it very hard to switch into. Mamoswine also helps absorb the electric type moves and slow
What
down
about
Volt
Polty,
Switch
guys?
momentum.
I don't know
Round
about
8 is
that.
up, and I was really hoping to get Ursaring so I could get a second Terra Captain as our round 9, but unfortunately it got taken. So instead, we shuffled things around and picked Dudunsparce because a normal type was going
Got
to
that
help us
dun-dun-dun.
combat Ghost Spam into our team.
Ape is a
Dudunsparce
decent
has
spin
some
blocker,
great
I feel.
bulk with
Yeah,
125
you could
HP,
argue that.
80 defense, and 75 special defense. It can help us check either physical or special attackers. It also helps being a stealth rocker and a glare user, being able to disrupt the opponent's Pokemon. In our last slot, I was hoping to get this Pokemon as a second Terra Captain, but oh well, we've got Galvantula. It had a great speed tier to fill out
And
the
there's the
Darkrai and
webs.
Salamence.
Yep.
Galvantula also
Typical.
has a niche role of being able to set
Typical.
up webs to slow down the opponent's team for our offense to steamroll.
I mean,
Besides that,
do you
Electric
even
Bug
need
is
webs
a
on this
pretty
team
solid
though? I
offensive
think you
type, and it
don't.
gets momentum and Volt
I think
Switch
maybe something
to let
else
us
in
bring
this
out
slot
some
might
of
have been
our
better.
stronger Pokemon. And that's our team for BBR Season 9. Let me know down below
He
how
has
you
two
think we
captains.
did.
It's Dudunsparce and Salamence. So what do we think about this team? Who's getting Cutie Fly? Nobody. Nobody's getting Cutie Fly. So what's the idea here, right? I mean, Darkrai, Quaquaval, good offensive synergy there. You have like Future Sight options with Future Sight Chili into Darkrai or into Quack. Those are some really strong combinations, right? Better than the last couple, I agree. Oh, excuse me. There's like the spikes from Klefki plus Spin Block Sinistcha. There's like some good like breaking options with Mamoswine, Specs Darkrai, that sort of thing. Wincon with Quaquaval, DD Mence. Like, this is a good team. Playoff contender for sure. Yeah, I think so. Big fan of Annihilate. Terra Ape, especially, I was once really good at using. Gotta be willing to Scarf it. Exactly right. I think Scarf Annihilate is probably its best set. Just Scarf Terra Ghost. It's so easy to stack Rage Fist boosts. And then just outspeed and KO everything that's not an immunity or a resist. And those immunities and resists, they die to CC, so it's one prediction away. It's a good team, doesn't stand out at being too good at anything to me. Yeah, it's like, it's good at a bunch of things, but there's no like fantastic thing that it can do. Like, there's no wow factor, you know? It's just good. Jack of all trades, master of none. Not enough big threats. Yeah, like the threats feel manageable, but he does have a lot of them. So, Annihilate 6-0s this team. Does it? It might, honestly. It does look pretty powerful here. Yeah, we're going to take this and we're going to put it in playoffs contender. Is it better than Keegan's? Or is Keegan's Here's Keegan's for comparison. Do you think it's better than this? Think it's better than Keegan? You like Keegan's more? You'll see Mamo drafted often, but every time it does get drafted, it absolutely cooks. Would you rather have Jason's team? I think I'm kind of leaning that direction as well. I just think Sinistra is like a fantastic mid-tier option, and it really like holds together about a lot of these. 10 times better? That's a lot of times. Might have to just go with that then. Getting 10x'd? That's crazy. Nefarious is so sturdy here compared to Keegan's. Yeah. Like, he just kind of checks all the boxes. Like, there's nothing that's like, oh, this is bad about the draft. It's just a good draft. Alright, so we're going to do that. We got 6 more to go. Alright. Alright, GentlemanThomas. Let's take a look here. We out here checking boxes.
Well.
Hell yeah.
Seems like we're back once again, and you know what that means.
What does it mean?
New team.
Oh, yes.
But this time around, I didn't want just any team. I wanted one that could soar to the occasion. A team that would follow my every command. And to do so, we of course need a leader. I'll scour the ends of the earth.
What is this?
Find the perfect partner to lead my team. So that is why I say to you, Icarus the Annihilate, former champion brawler, arise and lead us to victory.
Speaking of Annihilate, right?
Yeah, with that little intro out of the way, as you can see here, Annihilate is gonna be our first mon.
He got up. Let's go.
With it being so early, it's also gonna be one of our Terra captains. I'm pretty excited about using Annihilate. I haven't tried it yet, and while I think a lot of people know what it can do, I do believe it's the type of mon that I will enjoy very much. It gives access to really good setup moves and bulk up, of course, but even if support moveset is amazing with stuff like
Rage Fist guy, yep.
Generally being an evolution of a Gen 1 mon also means it has an amazing move pool just overall. Now to help our general in battle, we need some troops that can provide both support and be a manpower in battle, which is why I chose to go with the dependable Tusk the Iron Treads for our second mon.
Okay, really good utility.
Before, but I've seen multiple
pretty reasonable round 2.
Great success. So I find this
he said Tusk right there. This is a Treads.
Gives a valuable spinner to a team while also providing a mon.
Good try though.
Offensive, defensive, or even just straight up support, and having a flexible role like that on a team is always very nice.
Can't tell if Treads is good or bad. I think it's good.
Part of a team is having a mon that
the utility is really useful, and then in certain matchups it can just kill everything.
Therefore becoming a nuisance to your opponent. And to help fill out that role, I picked up KSaun.
Same thing? No, it is not.
Latios is a really interesting mon this generation.
Oh, these are the nicknames, okay.
Might be straight up better than Latios.
Ooh, he's right though.
Its bulkier stat distribution and partially due to its wide range.
I do like Latios.
While still providing your team with a strong, specially offensive.
I've been spamming Latios recently.
Fits this team very well because it does help our Fairy Dragon Steel Core, which is not that important, I think, anymore.
You like Lati plus Ape? I do as well.
And it pairs up very well with Iron Treads in that regard. To round out that core, I chose to go with a
felt a bit underwhelming at times. It does get like stat checked offensively. Like there's some Pokemon it just can't do it KO, and you just have to live with that. I found like a lot of success though in like Life Orb Treads, like Choice Band, that sort of thing. Like if you're able to fit a boosting move on it, all of a sudden it becomes a really strong breaker. Like it's all those break points switch the other way where it's now like barely to it KOing a lot of guys.
Matches up very well with a lot of the
right, Azu. I mean, Azu, I don't think is that fantastic.
And a very capable assault vest user.
Just feels a little bit too slow for what it is.
I do believe Azumarill slots extremely nicely into a team and gives us something a little different compared to most of our other offensive oriented mons. Now, speaking of especially offensive mons from earlier, our team so far needed some immediate firepower, as all 3 of our top mons plus.
How much is Azu? I can check real quick.
Though Azumarill being a slight exception, but here we picked up Beru the Iron Moth. Iron Moth is a mon I haven't used since the.
Azu's 13 points, which feels high.
It's an insanely strong mon with both breaking capabilities and sweeping potential, running either booster sets, choice sets, or even agility sets, with the occasional T-spike to really throw off your opponent. And I think it's a really
crazy overpay, yeah.
Since, as I mentioned, we did need a little bit of specially offensive breaking power, and this more than.
I mean, Iron Moth is cool and all, but I find it to be really underwhelming when it's not Terra.
Options were going fast, so I had to scramble about to make sure I would get even just a half decent mon to fill out my top speed, and we did so with.
I think we are rocking with non-Terra Moth.
It's not too long ago I used
the cry.
But that was with Terra, and this time around it won't be. Though I still believe it can fill out its niche role of being a speedy mon our opponents have to respect, because even with no Terra in some matchup, all you need is electric plus flying. Oh well,
The bus, so true.
If something becomes available that seems more enticing, Kittle could go in the swing if I need to. Our next mon is one I've been wanting to use for a bit, but often I will pick other mons that either share its typing or the role I wanted it to have on the team, and it just felt redundant to pick up. But this time around it seemed perfect, so we picked up Greed the Hisuian Quillfish.
Good spiker, good psychic check.
Despite it not being the best mon on the team, I still think it did a very good job, and I'm expecting a similar thing with Hisuian Quillfish here. It might not come to every game, but when it does, I believe we'll put in the work.
This thing is so fat. Like, Intimidate, Eviolite, Max Defense.
Now these next couple of picks
Best 5-pointer. It's really good value for the cost.
Of our draft was a place where I got sniped a good bit, and originally in this plate I actually picked up Cleavor as our mon, but then one of the coaches in this offered to trade the Hisuian Quillfish that we just talked about for our Cleavor, and I ended up agreeing. So in this spot here we actually ended up picking up Queen the Heracross. Yeah, it's probably the worst nickname, but you know, don't pay attention to that. Now the reason for Heracross here was I wanted another.
Wait, so they did trade Cleavor for Quillfish?
But this helps take off some pressure of Annihilate and even Iron Stress to some extent. I think Heracross more than provide that for us, and as an added bonus can act as.
Did they actually trade that? Because it's not on the dock.
Making it more difficult to deal with Annihilate or our other setup threats, which is stuff like Willow or Thunderwave. So as I said, these picks became a little weird as we got sniped.
Let me see if I can find that out.
Do the trade with Cleavor, because here we picked up Iron the Chestnut. So Chestnut makes for not just our second, but even third fighting type on the squad. Now I don't really see this.
I mean, Chestnut's cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Can Terra, but what Chestnut does provide is a pretty good partnership with Iron Tretch actually, covering most of its weaknesses and vice versa. Plus, is now our third spiker, meaning we should always be able to have good access to hazards on the team. At this point, you're probably wondering if we're only going to be rocking with one Terra Captain for the season, and no, that wasn't the intention. But with how expensive Nyla was, it made getting anything in the lower tier still within the budget of 28 points.
Oh, so
rather tight. So I opted to find some mons that could have some niche.
They did trade mid-draft. Well, it looks like Thomas was the one with Cleavor and he traded it for the Quillfish. Is that right?
And was a resist to flying types that will totally come up in some games. Yep. But for real, Cloth has some potential with just accidentally winning a game with Anger Shield and potentially even a Sword Stance, and it can also kind of utilize its regenerator ability to a decent extent.
Alright.
Now for anyone that's been able to keep up
Cloth,
with
the goat.
this season, they would know there's one very important name that
Viz did give up Quill. That's actually really
should
shocking.
probably fall to one of the most important and most powerful mons that we picked up. That it being
It's kind of like Terra Hydrapple, aside from in every single way.
Yeah, we picked up a Terra Trappins again somehow, which was not planned at all, but it just kind of happened. We had 2 points left at the end, and it was arguably the best one left at the price. So yeah, Terra Trappinch rises once again, I suppose.
Shout out to Trappinch.
That will do it for our BBR on Season 9 draft analysis.
There we go. So, what are we thinking here? This is definitely underwhelming, I think. This one is bad. Yeah. Way too middle heavy. I agree. There's no like big scary threat outside of Annihilate, and that's not really enough. Like, this is the team where the 6 that he brings are not going to be the same quality as the 6 that are brought from the other team. Like a mon quality gap. Didn't go too well for you? Yeah. You agree on middle heavy? Yeah. 3 of those guys should just be a top tier mon. Yeah, I agree. So where are we thinking? He picked up 11 mons, yeah. We benching a lot of points every week, exactly. Put it here, maybe? No. Bottom, middle of the pack. I think I'd rather have A12's team as well, yeah. It's solid as a team, it just lacks power. I mean, that, by definition, makes it not as solid of a team, I think. Let's see. It feels like he just, he looked at the draft board, he's like, okay, I need my fire, water, grass. I need my dragon, fairy, steel. I need my grounded poison, I need a dark type, I need spikes. I need a fast Pokemon. Yeah, it's checkbox drafting, but all of these Pokemon are not actually that good at doing those jobs. Completely relies on Ape to win games. Yeah, there's like very few win conditions on this kind of team. That's maybe like the biggest thing. Watch whose team? I mean, you want to take a peep at whose team? You've seen this before, right? You like whose team more? Kind of. I see the vision, yeah. Do we drop it below who? I'm kind of... I'm not too sure about this one. The only one worse than that is the Monohisui. Surely not. I mean, if we factor in like player strength, I know who is going to be really good with stall because that's his style that he uses. But in terms of like just the draft itself, whose team is objectively bad. But I think this one is also objectively not very good. So, I'm just gonna leave it here for now and move on. I think this is fine. Good enough. Whose only offensive pieces is psychic types? Yeah, it's like overlapping prep kind of idea. Alright, now we have Ant. ItzWhateva. Let's take a look.
Alrighty guys, what is up? ItzWhateva here, and we're coming at you with BBR Season 9. Last year we were a...
Hi.
We were a placement coach.
What's going on?
We're staying on business and we're coming back. Now, I think we were, what, 13th out of 16? And there were some pretty good guys I really wanted to use. And, oh goodness, I wanted, like, so many Terra guys because, like, you know, I was like, oh, I don't know when I'll be able to get them again. But there's been one Pokemon that I have not been able to use.
Palafin is top 5 favorite mons in general. Does he have a Palafin?
And I went ahead
This might be foreshadowing.
First pick. That's right.
Oh my god, it was.
This is our boy All Might. By the way, we're doing...
Did you like fast forward in the stream?
Nicknames.
You were even ahead of me. That was crazy.
I figured after we got Palafin, that's the perfect time to do so. But yeah, we got Palafin. I think it was like max points, whatever. I've never been able
Palafin, I'm stepping fresh out of the booth.
Super scary in like
stream delay.
He's not just, you know, banded with
he was ahead of me even.
Really
that was crazy.
Like, set. But just Jet Punch priority, super strong, bulk up, taunt, encore.
Palafin, we back again. We lead him with the flip turn.
Like bulk up sets, drain punch, close combat hits those, you know, water types that want to come in. Like, it's so amazingly strong, and I'm really excited to use it. We did miss out on Terra Raging Bolt. we did miss out on Terra.
Wave Crash Choice banded. Yep.
As a Terra to kind of pair with this guy. Raging Bolt.
Are we doing big damage?
Right after. It was Terra Annihilate and Terra Raging Bolt were right before me, or I think it was Thomas who was between Annihilate and Raging Bolt, and he really wanted to use both of them, and so it was like, oh, one of them's gonna fall to me, and then I was like, oh, well, you know, there's like 3 other Terras that like I really want to use, so I was like, let me just go ahead and get Palafin, and then I might be able to snag one of those on the way back. Turns out no, so no Bolt, no.
He was out here hoping for round 2 Bolt.
But yeah,
Imagine.
I'm really excited for using Palafin. He looks super cool, and I haven't used him yet. I'm a little worried about it because my last season BBL, we all know I didn't position my main guy that well, and Palafin.
One can hope. Yeah.
So I want to at least.
Got to be a little bit more realistic though. It's like 16-man pool. That would be crazy in an 8-man pool.
I thought the best thing to pair him with is Ting Lu here. Ting Lu is probably one of the best hazard setters.
Okay, Ting Lu makes sense. You want to punish those Rocky Helmet water types that want to come in on Palafin?
Already checking off so many
makes sense.
things that I need.
How good is Palafin actually? Honestly, don't even know. I actually did a Palafin review for its DCL performance a few months ago. I did a long stream about it. Turns out Palafin is actually pretty good. A lot of choice band was being spammed in that tournament.
To like sponge hits and
not a whole lot else, to be honest.
But yeah, so that's Ting Lu. He's real simple.
Lu makes it harder to punish leading Finn since nothing two-shots it. Yeah, exactly.
Means that he's got
it's a good pairing here, I think.
Special defense at all times, which is awesome.
Wow, shocker.
So then we went with our Terramon.
Okay, Terra Necrozma. This is a propaganda point.
Terra guys that started going around round 2 and 3.
When you have a good banded matchup, it's so unguardable. Yeah. Bulk up does seem slow in a lot of matchups. The thing with Palafin is that it's kind of like Galarian Zapdos we were saying earlier. It does kind of just kill itself into Rocky Helmets a lot of the time, but it will get good damage before it dies. Sponsored by the 2KO podcast, so true. Banded or just 4 attacks. I feel like there are some bulk up matchups, particularly versus Alamomola, for example,
boots or anything,
where you really can just take over the game.
Stealth Rock. But yeah, literally could be either an offensive powerhouse or a defensive monster to pair along with Ting Lu.
Kind of like bulk up punching glove. Yeah, I think that's one of the good sets as well.
It's not super fast, I want a little bit of speed here, at least something. And there was one thing I really wanted going into this draft, other than Palafin. Palafin was one of the other ones.
You'd rather have a Terra Water or Shifu at that point, but that's also using up your Terra slot, so it's not really a fair comparison,
Or not surprisingly, Ogerpon, Teal, and Wellspring both went like, I think they were like
different flavor of Mew. Yeah, it definitely feels similar to that.
They went, and I got Hearthflame.
Hearthflame, goat.
Super strong, like fire coverage with Mold Breaker. Just seems so cool. He could set up spikes against like a Hatterene or something like that. I think that's pretty cool. Really, he's just here to bonk stuff.
12 points is so crazy. Do you think that's high or low? I can't even tell.
Also, as a grass,
I guess one is good as fuck.
Gives me like a grass switch in, I should say, because Palafin kind of brings in the waters. And grasses, and this guy can take.
One guy thinks it's crazy that it's this low. One guy thinks it's crazy that it's this high. Such is draft,
I thought that was really cool. We got 1, 2, 3 guys in a row.
Literally true babble. I really like Ogerpon Hearthflame. I think it's one of the best breakers in the tier.
Obviously has the toxic debris, but I also really like the
Glamora here.
Of getting a toxic.
That means it's priced perfectly right. Exactly. Good job on the tiering. Hey, Glamora though.
Am I gonna be able to break through something?
I really want to see like offensive Glamora on this. It's so far his best Scarfer.
And then toxic. This thing's also super strong.
Makes sense.
It's like base 130 special attack. It's not the fastest, which is probably its like downside. But I think poison and
Draft League litmus test.
Rock are very good.
But it's a very polarizing Pokemon in terms of opinions. Some people think it's goated. Me. Some people think it's ass.
Fairy resist, because Fairy's like a very prominent.
Glimora underpriced? No, I don't think so. I think Glimora is pretty reasonable at 12.
Because Ogrepon is not going to be able to run boots or anything. It should be able to help with that a little bit. Now at this point, look at this budget. 32 points. We got our top 5 guys. I love our top 5 guys. We just got to get someone who can kind of work their way in to be one of the, top guys and kind of work with that.
Get some rotational pieces now.
I'm like, damn, I'm slow as fuck.
Yeah, you need some speed.
Everybody who
Noivern?
I'm slow as fuck in round 6 do?
Yup.
Noivern.
Shout out Noivern.
I'm not going to say he's the GOAT. We all know what he's here for.
He actually just hates himself for drafting Noivern.
Flying dragon, a little kind of a switch into ground types helps with that a little bit. But he's mainly here for his 120, I think 3 speed tier. Just give me something that's actually fast. I don't have to like scarf or anything like that. Because
many such cases, yeah.
Can't learn a scarf, so I need at least some sort of speed in that department.
Your scarfer is Glim.
Now at this point, I'm like, okay, well we have.
Don't get it twisted.
We have 28 points to Terra. Necrozmos 20 of them. Let's get an 8-point one and something that I could actually use. So we got Wo Chen.
Yo, live reaction to Wo Chen.
Wo Chen is super solid, I think, with Terra, because
he is.
Like if you think about it, the worst thing about this guy.
We saw Terra Wo Chen in DPL. I think.
He could be super like a fairy type. Like give him fairy type.
One of the big team tours. We saw Terra Wo Chen. It was actually pretty reasonable. Terra Zarud at home. I don't know about that. It's the same typing, but they do completely different things. Wo Chen is just really hard to break. Like Terra Fairy, Leech, Protect, Lefties, Foul Play, that sort of thing. It's good at that sort of stuff.
Next, I wanted to get a steel type because I was either going to get a fairy type or a steel type here. The fairies are really not that good at this point. No.
Fattest team ever, bro? Have you seen Who's team? This is not the fattest team ever.
This is, going to be our steel type. He's going to be, I don't know. I thought he seemed fun. I think parting shots are a really cool thing. The speed tier.
Revavroom, okay. I mean, Revavroom is your steel type, so check it off on the checklist, but it's not good at being a steel type. Like, a lot of Pokemon just get coverage for it. Like, anything with Earth Power, you can't check.
You know we had to do it to him. Give me Big
Belly Bolt.
That's my friend.
Okay, this is like a good blanket check to a lot of guys.
Belly Bolt. I have a
so
of him. He's one of my favorite guys of all time.
Kind of makes the Revavroom pickup a little bit more forgivable.
Like one of my favorite things of all time. Also, did I forget to mention? I'm doing My Hero. Ooh, there's a timer for me.
We got a schedule still.
Dinner's almost ready.
So true.
Belly Bolt is Fat Gum. Revavroom is.
Belly Bolt actually won the. Was it the winter seasonal?
Glamour's what?
It was a round 1 Belly Bolt that won that tournament.
Ogrepon is Endeavor.
You used it before, it does the job.
Which I think is a fire nickname because he's gonna be all Terra types too. Gigantomachia for Ting Lu, and then of course Palafin is Art All Might. These are My Hero nick.
Okay, so what do we think about this draft in general? These 9, I think it's definitely a playoff contender level team. You have really nice spike stack. Ogrepon as well can spike stack. Ting Lu, of course, the Hazard King, and then a lot of things that can really abuse those spikes up, right? Glimora, with a Choice Scarf especially, is really good at abusing spikes. Now, the reason for that is none of the Glimora checks are ever flying types, so everything that switches into Glim is getting hit by spikes, unless they're heavy-duty boots, but what can you do about that? So Spikes plus Glim I like. Spikes plus Palafin I also like because a lot of the checks feel forced to run Rocky Helmet, so getting that Hazard Chip on them is really nice. Then like a flip turn to that Ogrepon, get your Physical Breaker, actually getting your Physical Breaker in, so depending on which one claims, it doesn't matter, but those bulky water types are usually going to be the check to Palafin. Flip turn on that, get some good chip with hazards, get your Ogrepon in for a big Horn Leech, Wood Hammer, that sort of thing. The rest a little poverty. I mean, yeah, but the top 5 is really good, right? And you can totally slot a Belly Bolt most weeks, I think. Maybe set up Revavroom if the opponent's weak to it. Noivern if it's like has a good offensive matchup, that sort of thing. Like the bottom 4, they're all like good rotational pieces where like they're never gonna come to every week, but they can come to any given week. You know what I mean? It can be sneaky good. I used Reverum a while back, a lot as a scarfer. Removal kind of bad though. Yeah, you could say that. It's like just a mortal spin. I don't think Neuron gets defogged this gen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it gets it. This is how you should draft. Yeah, just a lot of offensive guys and a Ting Lu. It makes sense, right? It does get defog. Okay, so good stuff. I think this is, for me, I'm going to put this... Wait, which one is this? The Sacramento Blings. This is a playoff contender. I think it's probably still underneath Keegan's for me. But I think it's up here for sure. Grab the roll. What roll are we talking about? Don't know the logo. How are you, Mr. Alpha? I'm doing fine. How are you doing, Amy? Any life updates? Anyways, where are we at now? The HunkyDonkey. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Someone quits Mons, all of a sudden, happy. Connect the dots, folks.
What's going on, guys? This is HunkyDonkey.
That's awesome to hear. Congratulations.
In BBR Season 9.
Right, HunkyDonkey.
Journey from BBRD League did unfortunately come to end in finals, but the commission...
TJ would never know. He actually wouldn't.
Were kind enough to give me an invitation to the main season. I'm excited to share this journey with you. And
Quit Mons and to come back 2 weeks later is a true combo. Yeah. If I had a nickel for every time, I'd have a few dollars at this point.
First up is a new logo. The traumatized Snorlax.
This logo is so funny, by the way. Let me just
our first Pokemon we picked up.
So you can see it.
Bolt.
This is such a good logo.
So going into this draft, you were actually 14 out of 16. That kind of
it's a Raging Bolt.
Really skews the option, especially
one of the best Terra captains, right?
Not allowed here. Dio speed, obviously no pull. Pull has really started to get banned in the high-end leagues recently. No Zama Crown, no Spectre. So those top tiers are really limited. In fact, I think we grabbed the last, what I deem to be legitimate first pick. And that is, again, Raging Bolt.
This thing's really good.
Why is this mod so good? Well,
it has a lot of special attack and a lot of bulk. He's very strong. Look at it, 137.
You really can be super flexible.
I think Raging Bolt might be one of the best leads in draft just because of that booster special attack set. You can often just trade 1.5 for 1, just off rip, or force a KO early and then switch out at high HP. There's a lot you can do with it.
Amazing priority in Thunderclap, which is basically a special sucker punch. And
don't underestimate specs either. Yeah, I used specs like 2 weeks ago.
Super flexibility and what kind
yeah, I got to use Raging Bolt for 1 week in World Cup. Tie breaks brought specs. It got several kills. Love to see it. What is happening? I don't know. It's like kind of looped a little bit here.
I get lots of nice stat moves such as Discharge, Draco, Meteor.
When was the last time you did a full traditional league? TGS, right? So last year, I think.
That's pretty much it. I gotta say,
when was TGS?
And of course, Thunderclap to pay with my Terra Blast of.
Shout out TGS. Yeah.
This is one I want to try for so long.
That was a league where I drafted no fairy resist, and I definitely paid for it. This time last year, yeah.
Way more flexible in the building and
TGS Season 2 coming soon. I don't know about that. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
So, right now, some key roads to
Yo, can we move on? We get it. You have Reaching Bolt. Okay. Weavile. Some say it's better than Greninja. Can you believe that? Some say.
Gives us 125.
Are we gonna loop the thing again? Where it disappears and comes back?
Also gives us plenty of options such as priority.
Oh my god.
So we have Bolt Beam priority.
Oh my god.
Awesome. I don't know what does. Gives us a strong physical.
I mean, it's a strong guy. You have two really powerful breakers. One fast, one bulky. Good stuff.
120 base attack. It also gives us a staff knockoff option. And in this gen, it's gonna be really important to utilize. Some might say Weavile is better than Greninja.
he mentions it.
While I don't necessarily agree, it's a good way of coping that Greninja can make it back to me. And Weavile is just a mod to help pair Raging. Well, next up is...
Wait, Urshifu Rapid Strike. This is my boy. But I more so like this thing with Terra. I think it unlocks a lot of cool sets for it. Just raw with no Terra is like maybe
Gives us a nice stab water.
it's alright. You know, it's not bad. Just the options are a bit less. Getting hypnotized watching this video, you and me both, bruh. Priority maxing, yeah.
It got flip turn for the first set too. I could be wrong about that. But it's also now Rocky Hall.
How much to hire this guy as an editor? I don't think you can afford it.
I'm pretty much only going to be running Choice Scarf or Punchy Glove, as you typically do on Urshifu. But its options coupled with some speed boosting ones like Trailblaze, some coverage, like...
It's definitely not bad. Yeah, exactly.
Waters, Fire Punch to hit bulky grasses, Acrobatics again to hit those pesky grasses.
He said acrobatics. Brother, just use Punching Glove Ice Punch.
It even gets Poison Chip Iron Hit to hit bulky fairies. So this thing has all the coverage it needs. The only thing that's holding it back is its mediocre speed stat of 97. But we will make it work for sure.
Don fan, no. No. He's ass.
I'm gonna be honest, I really wanted Gliscor here, but Donphan is a super reliable mod that got me my first championship. So I always have a small favorite.
It's Jover. Get the counter. Yep. How many turns per game do you think Donphan is gonna get? Like averaged out throughout the season? Do we think it's gonna be over or under 2?
Along with a solid 90.
2-turn Tony. This pick is sponsored by PokeMD.
This one is going to function.
Yep.
Once
3 max. Yeah.
Obviously it's going to.
Gliscor would have been good on this for sure.
But it's also a good emergency button because this team is slowly leaning towards offensive. So having that like guaranteed boot sturdy option is really nice. I could do.
Gotta get your Palafin check in early. This guy beats Palafin. So true. What should I order for dinner? I mean, I don't know if you can get this anywhere, but yesterday I had several chili cheese fry burritos, and they are so good. I made them at work. I work at a restaurant, and for my meal, I made a chili cheese fry burrito.
Have one of my personal favorites.
They used to have them at Wiener Schnitzel that they don't have anymore. I used to love that. So I was like,
awesome.
we have chili, we have fries, we have cheese, we have tortillas. I'm gonna make some. And like, it took me way back to my childhood, man. So good.
135 attack stat, and
Get a
honestly,
burger.
not too bad,
I have a lot of burgers as well from there.
There's so many options you could.
His mic turned up. Yeah, this is. We gotta normalize our audio a little bit here.
It's hits hard, of course. It got a lot of
Everything has priority, bro.
Trailblaze. But I think it already.
Getting a burger then?
Psychic
Yeah, you can never go wrong with a burger.
There's probably a few more I don't remember at the moment. But this one is
Maybe you could get like a cheeseburger plus chili cheese fries. Maybe that's too much, but that does sound good, not gonna lie.
Captains I used, period.
Save some priority for the rest of us. There is a lot of priority in SV, more than enough to go around, but he is trying to get as much as he can.
It's one of my favorite mods. I'm super excited to try this thing. There's not much else to say. It also gives us another form of priority too. So that's
Shout out to priority.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 if you count Dawn Fan.
Yep.
Fan's a priority so far, which is just amazing to see.
Sammy C Destroyer right here. Yep. Shout out to Metagross.
All day.
This shit Metagross.
It gives us a nice
Peso Pete.
poison resist.
They're lucky Lele isn't in the game. Yeah, true.
Gives us a solid, well, not ground resistance with 2 ground.
And DD might be like the #1 threat against this team. Be real.
A lot of necessary defensive typos that this team was lacking up to this point.
Moltres, okay. The thing is, Moltres is not a ground resist, because everything and their mom gets Rock Slide, Stone Edge. It's more of a fairy resist, so taking a little bit of pressure off of that Metagross, and then offensive Moltres is pretty good if you can fit that on the team.
Gives us a nice ground immunity, grass, switch in, bug switch.
You just start saying you will love this team 7 times. That's funny, yeah.
But honestly, it's just really that ground immunity that's really
He's quiet again.
body, of course, is nice. The spread burns everywhere, like stated before.
We got to figure out how to like have consistent mic volumes on these videos.
Having that extra removal option would be nice. But honestly,
TJ's house? Is this a reference to Draft League player TJ Boat?
I just a mod that's super annoying whenever I have to face against it. So I want to try it for myself. And spraying those burns will not only
Nice.
give me jet to help Raging Bull clean up everything, but also cripple down a lot of physical threats that could be facing our way.
Rillaboom.
Okay, so next up is
More priority swag. This guy's just addicted to priority, I swear to God. Ground resist, finally. Yeah, you did need one of those.
Really cripples
Moltres is the odd one out, exactly, yeah. He's gonna have to run like Custap Moltres. No, I'm not mad about I'm not mad about it, but I was gonna draft Rillaboom if he didn't.
Like whenever I face against Rillaboom, those Venom with hammers hurt, man.
Yeah, this is the Ndidi counter. Something very, very necessary on his team.
Momentum too. Another knockoff user. It had some ground moves to hit opposing fires. It's just a really nice mon overall that I feel like really complements this team, giving Raging Bull especially.
And also like the things that check Rillaboom, you have really strong punishes for. Like the flying types, you just U-turn in a Raging Bolt and you pick one off, like, or Weavile, you know, same thing. And then like opposing grasses, you go to Weavile. Opposing fire types, you have Urshifu. All the grass resists are super punished by your top guys.
Gives us a status absorber option too, which players will have to worry about.
Yeah, I also like Rilla on the team. It does a lot for it.
Like T-Specs, for example, they have to worry about
Drafting Ursaring when Spectre is banned. Yeah. It's just a decent Pokemon with Eviolite. It's actually like, pretty bulky.
that I think is super reliable. Next up, we have God Alcremie.
Shut up.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, Alcremie. The Aster J special.
Was just the best one I could
Secondary Terra Captain. It's like a decent enough Calm Mind Wincon. I mean,
and it's actually a decent fairy.
it's okay. Starting to see Stunfisk on the walls of my room.
Fairy plus
That's insane.
Seems like a good offensive typing. I don't really see a scenario though where I will tear out this
Defensive
but it could be
backbone.
funny for sure. Next up we have
Arbok. Okay, this is an actual legit low tier poison. I think Swalot is really terrible, and Muck is like alright. But Arbok for the price, that Intimidate, the T-Spikes, the Glare is the important thing. It's actually like really reasonable.
Something you should definitely prep for in the builder, maybe. I mean, it's
Arbok the Truth, it might just be, yeah. For 2 points as well, like, we definitely take those.
Or just like any mods I repeated for BBR League. So yeah.
Guys, did you know that if you say Arbok backwards, actually, I'll just let you figure it out.
Need a healing wish mark. That's pretty much it. But
And Clefairy, because one garbage fairy type was not enough, we need two of them.
yeah, that's gonna be it.
I get it. Okay. My brain just exploded, no way. Yeah, you didn't realize this for, what, 25 years? Or longer than that, like 27 years. 28 even. What do you spell muck backwards? Don't do that. I'm warning you. Don't do it. He will not like it. This ain't the worst team. Yeah, I really like the top 3 Rillaboom Metagross kind of thing. I think those 5 are really strong together. Owen Hardy did. No. I think this is definitely it's up there. Seems pretty strong. Is it a playoff contender or a title contender? Because I think I might prefer this to J-Bear's team with the Tusk. My only problem with this is if a ground type is able to beat Rillaboom, it's really hard. But I guess in that case, you just dedicate your Terra to it, or you bring like defensive Donphan. So it's like, maybe it's okay, but like for example, a Lando I versus this team is just a complete goobing. Like you run Earth Power, Rock Slide, and Sludge Wave, and you just hit everything. Like maybe you bring like Balloon Metagross into that, but that feels like maybe not the most sturdy option. Raging Bolt is like the only goober threat here. I don't know about that, because like Weavile and Urshifu are also really strong Pokemon. Metagross can always go for like a 1-for-1 trade or better. There's like 7 Mons on this team. There are 7 Mons, but at least they're a good 7 Mons. Yeah, Rilla's great too. I would have loved to see Spikes on this team. I feel like Spikes would have gone a long way with how it functions. So maybe if we like did some transactions, I think we could get rid of the Ursa Ring. Maybe even the Alcremie. Pick up a nice Spiker. And that would do some favors to this team. But I gotta say, I do kind of like this. Where do I put it though? Compare it to compare it to like this one, for example. It feels better to me. It just does feel better. I like the team. What can I say? The prio spam is nice because like nothing's ever sweeping you with that amount of priority. Unexpected placement, not gonna lie. It might be a hot take, but I like the team. Seems good, not great. I think Raging Bolt is really, really good. That's the thing. And then these supporting pieces for it, there's some good synergies here, I think. Like if you bring just these 6 most weeks, maybe slot the Donphan over the Moltres a few times. It's a totally reasonable top 7 to just spam. You can kind of see it. Yeah. Moltrilla seems nice, to be honest. It does. And this is the kind of team where offensive Moltres goes a long way as well. Maybe not like specs or anything, because your removal's pretty bad. But just like max special attack boots, you have a lot of ways to get it in on the things that it likes to be in versus. Now, is it a title contender? I'll say it. I think it's a title contender. Seems pretty cool. No? Unfortunate, right? Let's look at the rest of them, right? We only have a few more to go. Alright, GrandMaster D.Rey. And then we can make some adjustments to make everything relative, right? No Donphan team should get this much glaze. Well, the reason I like it is because you can bench Donphan pretty reasonably, you know? You don't have to bring it every week. So loud. Oh my god. Thoughts on US West getting smoked by Canada? They wanted it more than my team, what can I say? We did not try our best. Back to 2016 with that intro. Yep.
I am the GrandMaster, but you can call me D.Rey, your coach of the San Diego Spirits, ready to take on Season 9 of the Breed.
Wait, what is this logo? That's a crazy logo.
Wi-Fi Draft League. If you're excited for the season, do me the massive favor and rage fist that thumbs up button. And if you're new, por favor, hit
Are you
the
playing this
subscribe
league?
button,
Yes,
turn
I
on
am.
post notifications, and hit the bell button so you can notified every single time.
How's it still so loud?
New video. I'm
My
very
god.
excited today. Before I begin, huge shout out to my amazing front office members. We've got Bash, J-Bear, Quinn, and Sven are my main guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate you guys. Without you, this team would not be possible. I'm looking.
Is that a tentacle logo? That's an Annihilate.
We've been killing it on Showdown, but we want to showcase our talents here on the Wi-Fi stage. And no other better place to do it than the toughest league to play in.
Sound design lessons with L5 needs to be a series.
Royale, pull up a chair, get
I don't know about that.
Let's go to break down the team. We got the wheel
And a
pick,
great
we
ball.
got the very last pick
You see
of
the M
draft.
here?
We
You're
got
just
the
trolling.
16th pick overall. Why is this good? It allows us to have what's called the wheel pick. So what's Draft League if you guys don't know? Pokemon Wi-Fi.
Guys, do we know what Draft League is?
essentially, fantasy sports mixed in, blended with Pokemon. So there are 16 coaches, and all of us are gonna.
So like if you drafted Stephen Curry, for example.
Until we all have at least 9 to 11.
Okay, we're gonna skip this. What is Draft League explanation? Okay.
Very strong. I've seen lots of
Enamelous.
players take full advantage of this Pokemon, and being able to tear it out of the flying and fairy type could be really nice offensively in some matchups where Pokemon's able to resist our fairy type stab.
So Terry Enamorous.
So it does get phenomenal coverage.
Pretty good stuff.
In things like Earth Power for Steel types and Poison types. Mystical Fire to mix it up if I want to use that as well. But this has very.
This does have Terra though.
Stab, which is great. Good ability and contrary. Q-Charm can come in handy from time to time, but this is going to be a very offensive Terra type.
Why do people think Enam is bad? Is broken? I mean, it did start underperforming in a few team tours, and that's the source of people thinking that it's like fallen off. Which is fair, right? But it's still like really strong.
With our round 2 pick on the wheel, back to back, we got Gouging Fire.
Gouging Fire. Shout out to PokeMD. Enam Gouging Fire. Also shout out to Uzi, right? Also use this duo.
Morning Sun, strong dragon and fire types.
Particularly bad when you run CM Contrary. I have seen that before. Sensing a theme. Yep.
Very reliable.
Don't worry, it'll keep going.
Heavy-duty boots item where Charizard X had to hold the Mega Stone, so it's really nice.
It is just Zardex with an item slot.
Weakness for Stealth Rocks upon entry, which is really cool. But being able to threaten Pokemon like Steels for the Enamorous.
I don't think you can get Terrazarud because a certain JRicky already has it.
For each other. After we had our back-to-back picks, we had to wait a little.
Agility Trick Room is crazy.
For this one, we decided to
Zardex in his prime was better. I mean, yeah, of course, right?
Is a
oh my god, a PokeMD Pokemon.
Incredible coverage. It gets really strong.
Next up, Mewtwo.
Attacking moves.
We see a Mewtwo, a Primarina.
Which is nice. Gets access to things like Facade to pair off with.
Might be the best core in Wi-Fi.
Being able to poison it and getting
I mean, it's definitely like good synergy-wise, right?
Which is unfortunate.
You are not ready for the round 4 pick? Yeah, nobody's ready for this.
And Toxic Spikes, which is really cool to have.
Where's the Terra Avalugg? There's still time.
And then Pivot Momentum and U-Turn is really nice to be able to get momentum and bring in Enamorous and Gouging Fire pretty free. But the main attraction that I wanted to bring Gliscor on this team for was
25th best score in
access to the
Showdown.
hazard. So now that we want to bring the hazard game on our side, we want to be able to have rapid spin to remove hazards on our
Rapid
side.
spin
So we
mentioned?
decided to go back to back with Tentacruel.
Everything wrong with society. This is a round 3, round 4 wheel, by the way. So if you think about it, this is a round 3 Tentacruel.
Tentacruel instead of Gliscor, which is really cool.
Folks.
40
40-point Gliscor is a bit steep. Yeah, I agree. 14 is a lot for Gliscor.
As we go into round number 5, we do notice that there is a Pokemon that should not be there at the very end of round 5, I should add. We take Urshifu Single Strike. Urshifu Single Strike is the dark type version of Urshifu, having access
Okay,
to
so if we're getting Urshifu Single Strike, we want something that really punishes Terra Fairies. And at the moment, we don't really have anything like that. Like, Tentacruel is not really doing that job. So what are we going to get to take advantage of Terra Fairy Pokemon? Thing like a strong Steel type.
To really break through a team would be fantastic. Has great sets, Band, Scarf, very straightforward.
Terra Avalugg is better than Tentacruel. You might be onto something.
And so once we picked up Urshifu,
Surely he'll be a good steal. Surely, right?
With those fairy types. So we decided to pick up Bronzong.
Bronzong, yeah, that won't do it either.
I'm really excited to look to use it.
We have 2 very cope fairy resists right now.
So Bronzong was the pivot. We also had the opportunity.
Wait, did you just mention me?
Get sniped by L5. So
I sniped him.
Was the pivot.
Swag.
We also had the opportunity to go for Metagross.
He was trying to get Scizor,
I can't remember if HunkyDonkey
but I got Scizor.
But nonetheless, Bronzong was going to be something that I brought up.
Scizor would look really good on this team, I'm not gonna lie. But hey, look better on mine. What can I say? Tentazong is unbreakable. Scizor would have gone crazy, but he's on my team. Yeah. Get owned.
Stealth Rock reliably allows us to remove that roll off a Gliscor, which is what Bronzong was really meant to do on this team, aside from threatening those fairies. So Bronzong, welcome to the team. Looking forward to giving you a try. As we move forward towards round number 7, we want to get a couple more things to pressure water types because they do get welcomed in by things like Gouging Fire, by things like
Gliscor, yeah.
So we did want to get a pair of grass type Pokemon here, and we can cover our speed tiers by bringing in Hisuian Electrode.
Okay.
Hisuian Electrode is gonna be
the classic, my team is slow, hit the Electrode button. Folks, fast electric types are essential to a good draft.
So good for this Pokemon. Having a Mon that's able to basically outspeed
Scizor for Defog? Nah, you draft Scizor for Choice Band and Swords Dance sets.
Aside from really fast Choice Scarfers,
Don't get it twisted, he's not a defogger.
Some other relatively slow Choice Scarfers, so having the
Fast Volt Switch, swag.
Which is the main
Electrode has hit the speed tiers department. Yup.
We decided to pair off with Decidueye.
Decadooey for any Wolfie fans.
Type allows it to block Rapid Spin, which will be really clutch for us. Roost for recovery. Gets really good
2 grass types back to back too.
And having great stab opportunities on both ends of the
SD Trailblaze is hella strong.
With
I mean, when are you getting 2 turns to set up with the Decidueye? Be so real. When is that ever happening?
Decidueye can be a Swiss Army knife, which would be really good for this Mon too. Really support the team for the most part, which would be really cool. Another pivot momentum Mon with U-turn, and basically covers a lot of boxes that this team really wanted to push forward.
Spin block's nice.
I get another element that my opponents did have to.
Oh, you're talking about Sizz? Yeah. If you're like in a Quagsire matchup or something like that, Trailblaze is really, really powerful.
Type stab to pair off with Tentacruel in those matchups that maybe Tentacruel doesn't really want to come, or we could bring the
Stat crept out the ass, yeah.
Hyper offensive with Araquanid's Sticky Web is really cool. And don't underestimate this thing.
Araquanid, this guy's broken.
Get really powerful liquidations.
Really like Araquanid this gen.
It does a lot of things, which is really cool. And for 6 points, I think that it really is a steal, to be honest. So
it's not a steal, it's a water bug type. This guy doesn't know his typings. You believe that?
When Anambris tears out of the fairy typing, so we just don't get boned by Specs or Banded Dragons. So you got Wigglytuff.
The Guildmaster, yep.
Be that fairy in that bulky
I love Wigglytuff.
Allows for support for the team.
Unsubscribe me. No.
It's actually kind of funny and does have setup as well. So
better steal than Bronzong. So true, actually.
Coverage, right? So there's a lot of really cool coverage moves. and it could be a really solid sweeper.
That is a fire grass type.
And good Swiss
Thank
Army
you.
knife for the
Very
team.
cool.
And when I say sweeper, don't expect it to like, set up nasty plots and win games. It is a Wigglytuff, but it's able to support the team and do what it's supposed to do for 2 points, right? And then the last point that I wanted to use here was going to be Trap Inch, but shout out to GentlemanThomas for sniping me of Trap Inch. So we decided to end the team with Haunter. Really excited to use Haunter. I feel like Haunter was very undervalued at one point.
All right.
Very strong special attacker. Having
Still has
access
levitate,
to
which is
base
nice.
95 speed is fantastic. Very fast.
Aura, yeah.
Access to taunt. We have another spin blocker, and Haunter does retain levitate, which is cool. So we do have only one weakness. So if we do run EV,
Here's the fairy pressurer. So true.
Haunter has a lot of things that it could do.
Better than Gengar? I don't know about that.
To threaten out fairy types, to allow Urshifu to do crazy damage, which would be really cool. So Haunter, there's gonna be a couple games where Haunter can come and really be a threat on my opponent's team. So looking forward to it. But this is the team for this season of the BBR Classic Draft Analysis.
All right, what do we think about this team? There's definitely some cool stuff at the beginning, but then like, I don't know, some definitely bona fide bad Pokemon. Nobody bringing Terraferry into the Haunter team. Yeah, it's so true. He fell for the Bronzong Gambit. Yeah. No Avalugg, what was he cooking? I don't think this is quite what was he cooking tier. Let's see. You'll be taking Gengar, it's time to innovate. Start was great, yeah. Like the top 3, cool stuff. If you want to put Urshifu on there, sure, be my guest. But Tentacool, Bronzong, feels like the defensive core is not quite up to par. But that's the case for a lot of stuff. So true, Ant. So true. Team's so slow as well. I mean, he did just click the electrode button. He was like, my team's slow. I need some speed. Boom. Electrode. Yeah. Now let's compare this to like Aimel's team. Because that's like top of middle of the pack. Where is it? Here. Yeah, I rank myself 1. It's my power rankings. I can do it. I'm the GOAT. Biased, of course, but you like it more than everything in middle of the pack? I think so, yeah. I think it's better than Aimel's team. But is it good enough to be a playoff contender, or is it just top of middle of the pack? I think it's going to be top of middle of the pack. Top of middle? Yeah, I think so. All right. And we have one more draft analysis to watch, and then Q, who did not upload a draft analysis, we'll just have to go into that one, just pull it up. But okay, KSaun.
What's up, everybody? My name is KSaun, and today
KSaun.
I'm announcing
Okay.
that I am officially joining the BBR. If you guys
I heard someone say KSaun, and I was like, where's the H? Turns out there just isn't one.
One of the most well-known draft competitions on YouTube, formerly ran by Commissioner GrandMaster
I
D.Rey,
jump
it is
scene.
now run by OG Albina. This league
Oh, look at him
features
pop
awesome
off.
players and
Woo!
content creators such
Wait,
as
Keldeo
JRicky,
spotted?
QtheCostarican,
He's a ball knower?
L5, and
Wait, that's
many
me.
more. So it's pretty safe to say when I received my invite to this league, I was ecstatic. But part of me feels like a fraud. I'm going to be competing against top-level competition. There are so many fantastic players in this league who have been
No, don't have imposter syndrome. No.
I've only played about 50 Pokemon Draft League games in my entire career. I'm sure there are a number of people out here that are deserving of this spot in this league. I'm probably
He said he's played about 50 Draft League games. How many do you think I've played? It's at least 1,000. Like it's at least 1,000 at this point. Probably more. I do need to go outside eventually. You played over 1,000? I've played over 100 just team tour games. Hold on, you've counted? You played 60 plus last year and you don't play a lot? Yeah, well last year I only played like 20 or so games, if you don't count mocks. Which I don't think I do. I wouldn't count mocks. Maybe counting mocks is deserved.
Quite a few players who think that
I don't know.
have what it takes to compete.
But regardless,
However,
I've played a lot of Draft League.
And using it as a chip on my shoulder.
Over 1,000 in Gen 9? That's insane. I hope that's counting mocks. 1159? Go outside, oh my god.
If I don't believe in myself, why should any of you? I don't want to just join this league and
Literally go outside.
I want to join my league and put my stamp on it. I want to be in the finals and I want to win it. So in order to overcome
Since 2017? That doesn't make it any better.
we're going to have to put a really solid team together. Before going over who's on my roster, I need to tell you what the rules are of this league, as it is slightly different from other leagues that I've done previously.
A rule explanation, sure. We get it.
And you can have 2 to 3 Pokemon on your team who are Terra captains.
Smell the air, bro. Yep. I get it.
Terra, this Pokemon is outrageous, and all of a sudden to draft it, it costs 22 points. With only 110 points to cover for 9 to 11 Pokemon, you have to be smart.
What do you want from me? Just keep being you, man.
I end up being right around
You're perfect the way you are, etc.
I got very fortunate this time.
Eat COVID, no outside. Yep. I get it.
In most draft leagues, I think there are a few Pokemon to consider for #1 overall. A lot of times, Dragapult is the #1 Pokemon.
7 leagues minimum at a time is crazy.
However, in this format, Dragapult is banned. So to me, there were 2 options. #1, I could grab a very strong Terra Captain right out of the gate. #2, I could grab what was, in my opinion, the strongest overall Pokemon in the format that cannot Terra. With 16 different teams in the league and having the first overall pick in a snake draft format, I was going to have to wait 32 picks before selecting again, which means I had to make this first pick count. In my opinion, Terra is an absolutely broken mechanic. However, Terra can be a broken mechanic on a number of strong Pokemon. So ultimately, I decided I did not want to grab my Terra Captain round 1 and would grab the strongest Pokemon in the format. A Pokemon that I also have been wanting to try for quite a while. And that is none other than Iron Valiant, who will be named Homelander for this season. Shout out to The Boys, which is an absolutely awesome show. Iron Valiant is a staple in the draft.
Yep, Iron Valiant.
And when you look at its stats on paper, it doesn't seem like anything too crazy. Its attack and special attack are high, and speed is decent at a 116 base. However,
I can't post a copy pasta in my chat because it goes over the limit.
which is almost unguardable in terms of its dual stabs, with the poison type really being the only solid answer to both of those.
Yeah, I'll just cut it off.
Besides the fact that it gets almost every single type in the game for its attacking moves, it also gets things like Encore.
I love this copy pasta.
And it gets an absolutely insane move pool. It can set up with Swords Dance or Calm Mind. It has priority with the Vacuum Wave. This thing is a home run hit with the first overall pick. And also, I think this is just easily one of the coolest looking Pokemon in the format. So to grab it first overall, I was very excited. Going into the second pick, I thought originally I was going to pick something that matched very well typing-wise to help out my Iron Valiant. However, I saw a Pokemon sitting there at the end of round 2, which again is pick number 32 in the draft, that is way too strong to still be there in my opinion. It is a Pokemon
What are we
that
getting?
I've drafted before, and a Pokemon I'm incredibly
Iron Valiant
excited
works
to
with
use
everything,
again, and that
so.
is Butcher the Iron
Okay, Iron Hands.
However, this is not just a normal Iron Hands, as even though I didn't know it at the time of drafting, I ended up deciding this would be my main Terra Captain for the season. Now, Iron Hands is not crazy fast. 50 base speed is quite slow, but its bulk is insane. It hits like an absolute truck. And I have shown before that in battles, if this thing can get the Swords Dance up, it potentially can just clean teams right there. The fact that I'm able to use it as a Terra Captain can allow me to set things up very easily with either Swords Dance or Belly Drum. It can also be
Belly
used as
drum,
a
he
really
said.
good defensive
That's
option because of
crazy.
those crazy base stats. If I need it to be a certain type
Usually
to
Swords
check
Dance
something
is,
defensively, it can do that
you
very
know, more
well.
than enough.
Ultimately, I'm just so excited to use this mod. I think this is legitimately
I mean, Terra Hands is pretty cool. I've used it before in the summer seasonal, I think it was. Like the first one. Was it that one? Or it was some tournament. I used Terra Iron Hands. It was alright. I don't think it was anything too crazy. It's just kind of like a catch-all check to something with the defensive typing. An Iron Crown. Now, in my opinion, this should 100% be his Terra Captain over the Iron Hands. Terra Crown just gives it the coverage that it lacks, as well as more setup opportunities for its call mindsets with the booster speed. It's a lot more flexible with Terra. So you could probably like look into a transaction to change that over. I think it would probably be worth it.
I don't think is the end of the world. And it also gives me a
And Kirchen incoming, that would be crazy.
all being future Paradox Pokemon.
12 points for Crown. That is pretty low, I think.
And normally that is not a move you want to
Like on the low side.
3 different future Paradox Pokemon.
Hands is good without Terra, yeah.
Becomes a move that can be worth
Exactly.
If I set up Electric Terrain, all 3 of these Pokemon will get a boost to their highest stat when it is on the field. So very similarly to how I've used Weather teams in the past, which I think is one of my strongest forms of when I've played, I can actually use Terrain to make these 3 Pokemon go crazy. With a nice 98 base speed stat, it feels a pretty good gap of where I have my first 2 mons to start. Well, looking at these 3 mons, I knew for certain that I needed a ground immunity. So I grabbed Rotom Heat.
That's what we were saying, JRicky.
Now, this feels like a pretty early round to grab Rotom Heat, but I believe Rotom Wash was already gone.
Shout out to Rotom
And
Heat.
I wanted to get a Rotom because, one, I've never actually used a Rotom before in Draft League, but 8 points seemed pretty cheap for this thing. The fire typing does give me another fairy resist, which is nice. Another ground immunity is fantastic. And honestly, just having Volt Switch for momentum, Will-O-Wisp, and Thunder Wave is great utility. It gives me a screen setter. It gets Pain Split, Nasty Plot. Rotom is one of those Pokemon that just feels like a...
Where's the have a look pick at? That's what I'm saying. He does not get defog in SV, unfortunately.
It's probably going to status something, it's probably going to chunk something, and it can actually take hits fairly well. And at this point in the draft, I did realize that all 4 of my Pokemon to start this draft can all use the move Electric Terrain, which, again, is pretty fun. The next pick I ended up
Any
choosing,
manual terrain users?
swapping in grace period before week 1. So the Pokemon that you're going to see
Natdex Brain,
is not
yeah.
actually what I drafted. I originally drafted Vaporeon because I wanted a water absorb user.
Vaporeon? Do I have to pull out even more copy pastas?
I ended up dropping it.
No.
aka Gastrodon. Gastrodon unfortunately does not get flip turn like Vaporeon does, so there's no slow momentum here. However,
Type chart trap picks? I mean, maybe. Do you even post the copy pasta on YouTube? I mean, it'll get clipped for the character limit pretty quickly.
Having your water type immune to electric damage is always really useful.
Drop the mid for the mid. Yeah, Gastrodon is really not all that in SV.
Nice grass resistances to boot. So having a Pokemon that can set up hazards, can absorb any sort of water attack, which we did not have a resistance for yet, I think can actually put in some work on the roster. That
Like, there's got to be better options in round 5 than Gastrodon. Yeah.
It's because it's stupidly good and should not be available in round 6. Whether or not it actually
Dragonite, though. Okay, he makes up for it. Dragonite's great. I love Dragonite.
14 points in round 6. Now, Dragonite gives us so much good offensive potential here. Having the multi-scale ability
Yup,
means that it can
very
be
heater.
a really strong offensive lead, or it can be great with the heavy-duty boots option late in the game. With one single Dragon Dance, Dragonite can often clean up teams in the endgame, so if Valiant does...
I also really love Choice Banded E-Speed. As a tool against offensive teams, it's really powerful.
A good endgame option. I can use Dragonite offensively early in the game to break holes through teams. Not only does it get the Dragon Dance move, which is almost always a guarantee to go off because of its multi-scale ability, making sure that we take only half damage from any hit when it's at full health, but it also gets extreme speed, which is a really, really good move that gives awesome.
It's when a
fire.
Pokemon's speed goes to the extreme.
We had was Vacuum Wave essentially on Iron Valiant, as I don't really count Fake Out. So extreme speed gives us another really.
Is he low-key him? I think he's really, really good. I love using D-Knight. I just don't get a chance to use it as often as I like.
I didn't feel like there was a ton of stuff I needed. I knew at some point that I would want to get some sort of
For
hazard
14
removal.
points, yeah, definitely he's him.
Hazard removal options got taken very early in the draft. So in my opinion, I felt like if I'm not
Yeah, you do want another
this
hazard
one,
setter
I
for
would just
sure.
wait till near the end to actually pick that up. One thing that I did really want though was a nice grass type, as it gives me another ground resistance.
Oh, the Firewater Grass Core.
So this
Let's
Pokemon
go.
happens to get a move that I think is broken. Starlight the Shaman here gets Healing Wish. At
Yep.
Only 8 points and 600 base stats. I think this thing is a steal. It doesn't get
Healing Wish is really good with Dragonite and Iron Hands, specifically.
It does get Air Slash and Earth Power. Pairing that with the fact that
That being said, Shaman is not a great Pokemon standalone, but Healing Wish is a really good move, so
have Iron Hands take 2, 3, 4 hits or something like that during the battle. Take out
Chalonberry, just so E-Speed does no damage. I mean, then you're using Chalonberry, you're not using Boots or Helmet or anything else. There's big opportunity cost for that. 8 points Healing Wish bot, yeah, pretty much.
Physical threats or slow down one of my fast threats like my Iron Valiant. And in that case, the natural cure ability that Shaman gets allows me to switch in Shaman, get statused by whatever move.
Status Absorber, yeah, fair enough.
It's cured of its status.
Wow.
Which means if I'm really concerned by one of those moves, I can safely put Shaman in, and once it swaps out and comes back in, it's no longer there and it can keep on trucking. At this point, I like my roster quite a bit. However, I am seeing a couple of things that I don't love. One is I don't have a ton of fast momentum. 2, I don't have a ton of knockoff users. And 3, I don't have just a ton of fast mons in general. Paired with the fact that I don't have any sort of ghost type or normal type for some of those immunities, I saw a Pokemon that I've used before that I've been dying to play again.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about as well.
The Hisuian Zoroark. 10 points for this bad boy.
Okay, Hisuian Zoroark is so drip.
Him in the IBL, and I absolutely loved
He's so good.
using him. I brought him to almost every single match. I think this Pokemon is slept.
Yeah, when I was using Hisuian Zoroark in PGP, I went like 7-0 with it. It's super fun to use.
Try and burn things. It has fast taunt. It can even go for memento.
Terra Ghost on this guy is so fire.
Stats of a certain Pokemon, and
I don't think this is a Terra user though.
Pokemon like Iron Valiant set up. Iron Valiant a lot of times isn't going to live 1 or 2 hits from the opposing Pokemon, but if I can go for something like that and give it a chance to, Valiant can potentially clean up. Paired with the fact that I can disguise this thing as a lot of other Pokemon, it creates a lot of mind games for the opponent.
You could disguise this as Iron Hands pretty well.
Play they are going to make, and ultimately one bad turn for the opponent against a team like mine with things like Terra, Iron Hands, Dragonite, and Valiant, I think can be the end of the game.
It would be cool to get Zoroark more usage. Yeah, I think it definitely deserves to be drafted a bit more than it is.
Amongst 1 to 3 Pokemon.
Yeah, physical Zoroark with like Poltergeist, right?
I decided to go with was Colossal. And now this is a Pokemon
Colossal, yep, this is the secondary Terra user.
I ever really respected this Pokemon or even
This is like another hazard setter, right?
Bruno in the playoffs of the SPDA. And I remember looking at a Terra Ghost Colossal and thinking, this is a nightmare for me in prep.
Yeah.
This thing gets 3 awesome abilities with Flame Body, Flash Fire, and Steam Engine. Its typing sucks, I'll be honest. Rock Fire is not great.
Yeah, this is the removal, which isn't fantastic, but at least you have something, right?
Legitimately Iron Hands levels of bulk, and probably even better on the special side. Not only that, but it gives me another hazard setter with Stealth Rocks and Spikes, and it also gives me hazard removal with Rapid Spin. Being able to spread burns everywhere, or at least make Pokemon on the other team think about whether or not they just want to spam the move U-turn and not catch a burn, is really, really nice. And ultimately, for only 5 points, free Terra Colossal seems like a steal to me. I knew with only 9 points remaining, there were a couple of things I wanted. Number 1 is a grounded poison. The only hazard
So true,
I have right
Owen.
now is Colossal, and I don't want to just lose to T-Spikes each week, which brings in Ashley, the
Muck.
the Gen 1 poison type.
Yep.
I've never gotten to use Muck before, and I'm pretty excited about it. This thing actually has pretty underrated bulk with over 100 base.
Muck got a lot of buffs in Gen 9.
Defense and a decent defense and physical
Got knockoff.
It gets toxic,
What else did it get?
spikes,
Yeah,
it gets set up
T-Spikes.
with Curse, and it even gets things like Drain Punch and Knockoff. I think this thing fills a pretty decent hole in my team. So with
Avalok
5
would have been better
points,
than
I'm
Cole.
actually really excited about the value
Would it
that
be?
this Ashley brings.
Maybe it
Now, with
would.
only 4 points remaining and 1 choice remaining, I looked at those first 3 Pokemon on my team, and I said, I
feel like Colossal's fine, though.
I have an Iron Hands, and I have an Iron Crown. You know what would be great here? An electric terrain setter. So I went
Pincurchin?
and grabbed Indeedee.
Ah.
Indeedee, what? That's not an electric terrain setter. That's
Side terrain for the,
so for 4 points, we
the
got
Iron
the
Crown.
psychic terrain setter, both the male and female Indeedee version. And now you might be asking, why the hell didn't I grab Pincurchin, the electric terrain setter? And there are 2 reasons for this. Number 1, I think Pincurchin is a bit of a fraud of a Pokemon. I am welcome
Tell
to
him.
be wrong about that, and maybe down the line, if Indeedee's not working for me, I might just pick up Pincurchin to make some of these.
Wait, this is the hard counter to the HunkyDonkey team.
For a couple of reasons. Number 1, I get both forms for only 4 points. If you were around for my first PUDL run, you saw that I used female Indeedee, which cost me like 8 points that season, actually quite a bit. I love its support options with screens and Trick Room.
Another Healing Wish.
And again,
Yep.
if you heard me what I said about Healing Wish with Shaman, I think this move is broken. Paired with the fact that Indeedee female can be pretty bulky, this can give me a Trick Room plus Healing Wish option for my Terra Iron Hands. And Terra Iron Hands and Trick Room, guys, is very, very threatening. Felt like overall these 2 Pokemon
Draft Miraidon instead of Indeedee. That would be an upgrade on the draft, I'm not gonna lie.
This is having the male Indeedee form. If there's no dark type on the opposing Pokemon,
It is actually draftable. There's some matchups where Indeedee actually is an offensive threat as well. We saw Mountay when he used it. He used like Life Orb Indeedee a lot.
Pokemon, I may switch it out for Pincurchin later, but ultimately I'm pretty excited about this.
Sounds like he knows ball, but he still drafted frauds. There's a few of them here, but a lot of heat stuff as well.
Let me know if you are excited for it. I am incredibly pumped to be playing in the BBR. There are so many good coaches and so many good content creators. Honestly,
Right. Good stuff. Like, obviously, Iron Valiant, great start. The triple Iron start. You know, you have some booster energy spam options with, like, Iron Valiant into Iron Crown. Both, like, fast setup guys. The Rotom Gastrodon is questionable, but D-Knight, Hisuian Zoroark. These are good Pokemon, right? Be easy to make this team better with trades. I agree. Yeah. I think this definitely has the tools to win. I think this is probably a playoff contender, though. Is it a playoff contender? Is it better than this? I think so, yeah. I like it a little bit better. But definitely bottom of playoff contender. I like the other 3 teams here better. It's better than the Urshifu team, yeah. Alright, so now I just have to bring up Q's team. Now I'm going to find it over here. So you take a screenshot. Right. Q draft. Where did that go to? Here. Okay. Is that on screen now? Should be. Yeah. You could see it. So now we have to look at this one. And since we're not watching a video anymore, we have some background music finally. Okay, so this is our own draft analysis. We have to craft this one from the ground up. Okay, Garchomp round 1. I like Garchomp. I think it's worthy of a round 1 pick. A lot of people disagree with me on that, but that's my own opinion. Heatron Magneton double Steel Danger. Yeah. So Ogerpon, right? Walled by Steel types and stuff like that. But there are matchups where you can just kind of click the grass button. It feels like a Mega Rillaboom almost. The Rotom Wash a little bit outdated at this point. Slowbro, Galar. Not the greatest Pokemon, especially round 4. I feel like that's way too early for it. Not really the most high quality Pokemon ever. And Heatran, good offensive guy, but defensively leaves a lot to be desired. Just because, you know, everyone can just run Earthquake, you know? A lot of Pokemon get ground coverage. Like Earth Power Enamorus, for example. Like, it doesn't check any of the fairies, but I guess that's what Slowbro's there for, so fair enough. Rabombi for webs, and then like if they're trying to defog, you go Ogerpon, get the Defiant boost, I guess, and then you Terra your +2/+1. But then like you also just spin, right? Spin is a lot more common than defog anyways, and you don't have a spin blocker. Even like Ogerpon, you can't Terra to a ghost type, it has to be grass. Hitmontop, not a good Pokemon. Moltres is a good Pokemon. As offensive dark type, but this gen is kind of littered with great offensive darks that are all better than Moltres. It's a ground resist, so that plus Rotom is now your ground resists. Azelf, he's okay. He's not really too fantastic. And then Magneton, kind of trap the Skarms and the Corviknights for your Ogerpon, I guess. I see somewhat the vision there. Overall, I'm not really blown away by this, you know? One Terra type is restrictive. I like the top 5 a good amount. It's not what was he cooking. That's like the theme teams, you know? But, I don't know, because Q's a good player, but I don't really like this draft very much. It feels outdated. Like, if you had Garchomp, Rotom Wash, Heatran in like Gen 7, Gen 6, that would be pretty PogChamp. I know I'm saying this while having a completely Oras team plus Terrapagos, but even like within SV, Rotom Wash is like a shell of its former self. Just kind of gets stat checked a lot these days. I don't know, there are some like redeeming factors, of course. Yeah, the top 3 core feels like what we would have got maybe a year and a half ago. Now it's just okay, yeah. Yeah, I think I want to put this, maybe upper end of middle of the pack. I think it's better than Aimel's team. Is it better than D.Rey? I'd say so. I think it's better than D.Rey's. I think I'll put it here. Realistically, there should only be 8 teams in playoff contention and above, so that makes sense. I think this is probably where I'm at. I think maybe you could argue this could maybe slide down a little bit. Also, let's do our absolute best to be unbiased for a second. Where's JRicky? Where's JRicky's thing? I have too many tabs open. Here's JRicky's. Is this deserving of a top 2 slot? Because this versus mine. This team is gas. I like it a lot. Yeah, I also like it. I'm going to try my best not to be biased for a second. Is my team better or worse than that? We both have very good quality overall. You guys are more consistent though. Like he has Corvi, Blaze, Pert. Yeah, these are Pokemon that are very hit or miss, and if they actually are able to do their jobs in a given matchup. Whereas Scizor, like, Scizor versus Corviknight, better Steel type, will pretty much always do his job. Swampert compares to Lando T as the ground type. That being said, his Terra user is obviously better than mine. Like, I meme about Terra Keldeo being the GOAT, but Zarude is the true #1 Terra user, probably. Maybe like top 3 at minimum Terra users, behind like Raging Bolt and Torn T. But yeah, and then Bundle is also a little bit more inconsistent in the matchups, right? A lot of matchup fish Pokemon here, which, like, if you have enough of those guys, eventually one of them is going to drag in a fish, you know? Terrazarud is crazy, yeah. And then my other top 3 is Hunky Dory, or Hunky Monkey. HunkyDonkey, sorry. I got Monkey Dory on the mind for some reason. I think Bundle is good in most matchups, to be honest. I think it's more consistent than people make it out to be, but it's definitely not 100% in every matchup, you know what I mean? HunkyDonkey, I like this team a lot, I'm not gonna lie. Is it better than JRicky or me, though? I think if it were me using it, I would prefer to use this team than JRicky's team, but that being said, JRicky's team is probably better. This just has a lot of Pokemon that I like on it, if that makes sense. And then we have this one versus J-Bear. Which one's better? This one, I mean, I was a really big fan when I first saw it, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, this might be a little bit weak to so-and-so. I think there are just some defensive holes. Maybe I'm overhyping those. This one has some cracks, yeah, but the offense is so nice. You think Hunky beats J-Bear? I'd rather use Hunky's team, but I think... The offense is unmatched, yeah. This team has the best synergy, I think. Yeah, I could see it. It's between these two, I think, for the 3rd, 4th. I think I'm gonna keep it like this. I like Hunky's team a little bit better. But still, top 4. Still in the title contender tier. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these 4 won. And then playoff contenders, these 4, I think are going to be the ones making playoffs alongside these top 4. Now, can some of these lower teams punch up? You know, take their slots? Absolutely. In fact, I wouldn't even be too surprised if Who made playoffs, just because that style is so unique and he uses it pretty well. But the team in general, like, you have to put it down here just for like raw power rankings, you know? I think I'm pretty happy with this tier list. If you want to make your own tier list, share it in the BBR Discord or, you know, my own Discord. Feel free to. I made this this tier list public. You should be able to search it up. Just BBR Season 9. Would love to see some of your hot takes. But anyways, this is gonna be my power rankings. Now, I tried my best not to be biased, but I still put myself at #1. But this is kind of the nature of your own team. You know why you picked all of your Pokemon, so it just makes sense in your own head. Yeah. So, maybe bias, but what are you gonna do? This is my power rankings, and I think that's gonna be the end of the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. This was a fun one. More BBR content coming. Right, the only thing left to do is win. Working on it. Well, the only thing left to do is get killed 20 kills and then win. So I got two goals. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. I think the next stream is going to be tomorrow, which is going to be the Draft League World Cup stream. So that's going to be the round of 8. All the games are in at this point, so should be a good stream. Lots of replay analysis. If you're interested in that, hop in the stream tomorrow, roughly the same time this one went live, give or take. Alright, that's me all for me. See ya.